doors, rear entry doors, if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuysHomesstlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
Attention veterans. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable, but you must act now. Get your free case review. Call True Law at 877-560-8555, 877-560-8555, or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green. Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
97.1 and thousands of music options, plus millions of podcasts are all on the free Odyssey app. Download the app or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 and it comes up automatically. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Thank you for being here with us today. We're glad you're here. Another beautiful day outside. Are you guys feeling the August in the air? I said this at the end of the show yesterday.
It's starting to feel like it's turning a little bit. I know it hasn't yet. And I know it's not time for that, but it does just because everybody's going back to school. It's like, oh, we're going around the corner here to fall now, aren't we?
I don't know if it's my brain
ready for it.
Or if it's, it's my phone says it's 82 degrees outside. That's a lot different
perfect.
than 98.
Yes. That is perfect.
I think I've said before that my perfect temperature is somewhere around 83 is I think what I said before, but 82 is nice. Mm-hmm. You walk outside and it's just pleasant. It's not, there's no little chill in the air, which is, there's a place in the world for a chill in the air, especially when it's getting to the other half of August and you're starting to think about pumpkins and Halloween decorations and all that. But the extra hot that exists in August as well, it's kind of nice to have that. So we're glad you're here. We hope that you are enjoying probably your lunch hour right now. A reminder, you can stream the Annie Frey Show on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Take us with you anywhere you go. Back to the office if you so choose. And also on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, you can go there right now and you can vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. Who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? Governor Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rand Paul, or someone else, which is going to require you to leave a comment. I don't want you guys to tell me your answers right now because we're going to talk about something else here in a second. But Brad, do you think that his likely running mate is on that list?
No.
No?
No.
Do you think his likely running mate is not on this list?
No.
Hannah?
I did, yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think I missed somebody obvious?
I don't know about obvious
No.
because there's a pretty wide breadth of people that it could be.
I'm not even sure that like his potential running mate is like
alive yet
in the open.
Yeah.
like in the forefront of the news. I don't know that like because like when he announced Mike Pence, I wasn't like Mike Pence. Oh, okay, I see. So I think it's going to be somebody kind of like out of the blue.
So put a pin in it.
Okay.
Because I want to hear, I thought of this question. I'm like, oh, that's kind of an interesting question because do we all agree there's zero chance that it's going to be Mike Pence?
Oh, yeah. No, there's no Mike Pence.
Like all of the Trump Pence merch that needs to just go. That's history.
Yep, that goes in the museum.
There will need to be new signs printed and flags printed if Donald Trump was to run. So when I sat there and I thought about it, I was like, I'm not 100% sure. There's no clear cut answer. And Kristi, is it Kristi or Kristi? Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis and Rand Paul are all people who I have heard be suggested, and I think they're all very compelling for different reasons. But I only get 4 options on YouTube. This is I'm limited, so it's someone else, which means there's infinite, but you got to leave the comments. Hannah's going to watch those comments and set them aside.
I'm sure there'll be a ton.
Yes. So join the Annie-Fry YouTube channel, subscribe while you're there, vote in the poll and comment because it's kind of a fun thought experiment that I haven't really heard being talked about.
It is, especially because there's one name on there that I have not heard. And that is Rand Paul. I've heard people kind of just say, wouldn't that be nice? But I haven't heard anybody seriously say, no, that's a possibility.
Well, we're going to talk about it later on in the show and kind of dig into it on why there might be a choice one way or the other. And I just think it's kind of a compelling thought experiment. So you can go to the YouTube channel, you can vote Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, Rand Paul, or someone else. And if you think it's someone else, like I am fully prepared for someone else to run away with this with an obvious suggestion that I just couldn't think of at 2 a.m. last night when I put this together. So maybe that'll be the case.
Well, there is one more that I think has been talked about quite a bit.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah,
I had her on there and I was like, I don't know. I always try to anticipate where that's going to go. And Nikki Haley is kind of complicated in the Trump circle.
Yeah, she is. But apparently he's met with her more recently than anybody else, and people are speculating, well, what does that mean?
Yes. So, and Nikki Haley here, Ron just said, I think is Nikki Haley. So we will continue to watch your comments come in. Give us some thoughts and ideas, or if you have a specific reason why you picked that person.
I'll save them.
Love to know. Hannah's job to watch all those comments come in, and then she will highlight them at 2:45 when we give the poll results. The Annie-Fry YouTube channel, that's where you go. Okay, let's move on from that. We're going to circle back to that a little bit. We've got Brad, we've got Ryan, we've got Hannah in the studio right now because there's this whole thing that this is small world, teeny tiny small world stuff going on in the Annie-Fry show land that I think is really, really interesting on a fully large scale. And that is the power of social media, which I study because before I was on the radio every day talking to you and blessed to have this opportunity, I ran the digital brand for 97.1. And I was learning and running through the digital brand of 97.1 in a way that would grow with social media as social media grew itself. There were many times where we would have, even a new platform. Like Instagram, the station in and of itself was just on Instagram, like has been on Instagram now. You can go to follow 97.1 FM Talk on Instagram. And it is a great follow on Instagram if that's what you do. If you're an Instagrammer, you can follow the Annie-Fry show as well. But we have developed over time with social media, just like everybody else is. Social media is something that is a great tool that really is, I would say, Ryan, like an equalizer of voice. It has made celebrities less celebratory. It has made politicians more accessible. It has made shows like ours on a radio station. Like I know that radio is an older medium But we are doing everything we can to make it a younger one and expand and bring together different areas where audio can play for different people and make the community bigger, right? Talk radio in and of itself. I mean, if you're talking to somebody who generally, Hannah, like you, is 20, and you're talking about listening to conservative talk radio, there is probably a little bit of a caricature that goes along with that.
Yeah.
So social media takes all of this and gives it new life, in my opinion. It gives people an opportunity to take a message and push it. Of course, as with anything, President Trump is probably a prime example. It's a double-edged sword. Donald Trump's effective use of Twitter and his ability to, in an instant, change the course of the entire news cycle because of 140 characters is an incredibly powerful thing. Donald Trump's tweets in and of themselves, when they would be put out into the world, would cause great cheer and great dismay all at the same time. And then there were people in the middle of that who maybe loved his policies or maybe didn't love his policies, but the tweets really pushed him over the edge. I mean, how many times do we need to hear, I'd really take $1.82 gas and some mean tweets right now? Like, it was like, that is the phrase people present as, yeah, the tweets sucked. Like, we've all agreed now that the tweets were, whether you love them or not, you might be somebody who loves that part of Donald Trump. You know that they were a political liability, right?
And people are saying, I'll actually at this point take the good with the bad.
Yes.
That's how much I want to change
Bring it
what's
on.
happening now. And the bad being mean tweets. The bad being, I know he's out there saying all this stuff all the time on social media, but I'll take it because that's how much his policies were working.
100%. So social media exists. I think that I really do believe that very few people who are running for office have been able to capture the power of social media to neutralize the money game. Because it's still brand new. I mean, you think about it. We went to the library, not you, Hannah. The dinosaurs in the room went to the library to write papers, and we had to go check books out and look at books and turn to the page and read the page and write, we didn't have the internet growing up. And when the internet came into our lives, I'm 38 years old. Ryan's 41. 40.
No, 40.
You're going to be 41 in like...
Yeah, we'll be next month.
And you're 39.
Mm-hmm.
So we're 38, 39, 40, and 20. Just for reference. We saw the internet come into our lives, and we saw it become a thing, but not in our lifetime, in our academic lifetimes, was it ever trusted. It was like you could not use an internet source. If you found something on the internet and you were writing a paper, you were not allowed to use it because it wasn't trustworthy.
It wasn't scholarly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a scholarly
I
source.
could be writing a paper and I could be citing Ryan Wiggins, my neighbor, who said this in something that, in a web page that he made on the internet. And that would be the same thing as finding like the Encyclopedia Britannica online. If it was online, it was not believable. Fast forward to today, and we have moved so fast forward into the way that it is not just the information highway. It moves so fast, and there's so much there to consume that when people use social media for the purposes of getting messages out and building brands, which I'm not opposed to, it used to be my job to build the brand of the station. It's a very powerful thing. Well, it came to my attention this morning that on August 16th, I was accused of refusing to have a candidate on this show, on the Annie Frey Show, in the Illinois primary. I was accused of ignoring requests, that my team did not answer whatever requests were sent, and that the accusation was made that I would not allow this person to come on the show. In the bigger, broader picture, what frustrates me is that this was put out there like a week or so ago. Peggy Hubbard did tag me in it. She did tag the show in it. I did not see it till this morning. And I have had, I think maybe two people, one person in a comment on the live chat on the show page, which is here every day. If you want to get a hold of me, there are a billion ways that you can get a hold of me. And Brad, we respond to this. Hannah, we have 3 sets of eyes at minimum on this all the time. People have asked us in the primary season to have Peggy Hubbard come on the show. When that happens, we have said on the air, Peggy Hubbard is welcome to come on this show. If she would like to reach out to us, if she would like to come on the show, we would love to have her. It's that simple. Until this morning, I had no idea that Peggy Hubbard and I weren't fighting hard for the exact same team. But this morning, it was made aware to me that there are a lot of accusations that are being levied against me that are completely not true. They are completely fabricated. And this is where social media comes in. In this instance, my name was drug into something and the integrity of the show, which I take incredibly seriously because you are what matters to me. No politician out there that comes on this show that wants to get elected to office matters to me more than you do. If you're a Missouri voter, if you're an Illinois voter, it is my job every day to protect the integrity of your time and your interest. Because if I get upside down on that, if I start serving myself in this, I cannot feed my family and my kids on an audience of 1. I take it incredibly seriously that this show does not belong to me. It belongs to you. And your time is valuable. Your time is precious. And you are free to do with your time whatever it is that you want. And every minute that you spend sharing any amount of that time with us here on this show, I cherish that time because it is a gift that you give to me. It is my privilege to be able to serve you in that capacity. And it is no other way than that, because this does not succeed if you are not always the focus of every minute of programming I do on this show. Peggy Hubbard never once asked to come on this show. She's never asked me. Brad?
Never asked me.
You are the executive producer of the show. How many requests and emails do you get a day about anything?
Oh my gosh. I think I've got 3,000 unread emails right now.
For sure. I get requests every day from people to come on this show because they want to talk to you. I can't let everybody on this show. Peggy Hubbard never asked to come on this show. If she would have asked to come on the show, we would have booked her that day with 0 reservations. Like I said, I have no problem with, I had no problem with her. I invited her to come on today multiple times. She never even, she replied, but she never even said yes or no. So I know that she knows she's been invited, but she hasn't accepted. I'm not going to give her carte blanche access to the Annie Frey Show listeners because nobody gets that. It's the listener. It's the daily news cycle. It's what goes on every day that's important to you. It's not what's important to me. It's not what's important to a politician. Ryan, imagine if every politician, you have a 2-hour show on the weekend. Imagine if every politician who was running for office that asked to come on the show, on this show, you've hosted this show for long periods of time. You host your own. Imagine if every person who came to us got on the show.
It's not possible. It's not possible to book every single person. However, with marquee races, it certainly is.
The Annie Frey Show policy, Brad, do you want to explain the Annie Frey Show policy on these federal offices, Missouri and Illinois?
So if this office that we're looking at, that the race is something that will affect listeners on both sides of our audience, because our audience spans Illinois and Missouri, if a race will affect them, i.e. a Senate race,
a statewide race,
a statewide race, federal races, anything like that, and the guest asks us to come on, we will book them and have them on. There's not one guest that we've turned down in a statewide federal race that we've turned down.
We said on the air before before I went on vacation. So we went to the Trump rally. Hannah, you remember that?
I do.
You remember the Secret Service and your encounter with the Secret Service? We went to the Trump rally, and Brad, you want to explain the encounter you had with the gentleman who you had on the show, I believe, with Ryan?
Yeah, I was Ryan. So we had one Senate candidate in the Illinois primary. We had one Senate candidate on. His name is Matt DeBeal. If you guys remember, if you were listening, we had him on, I believe it was the Monday or the Tuesday.
I think it had to be Monday because I think it was the day before the election.
So it was the day before the election. We had him on, and I was at the Trump rally in the media pool, and he was out there making his rounds, and I introduced myself as Brad, and he's like, "Oh, I recognize you. You're the producer of the Andy Frey
follows
show."
The show on the Twitter page. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I get we exchanged contact information." He's like, "Can I come on the show?" I was like, "We'd love to have you on, share who you are and what you're running for and all of that on stuff." We swapped information. We had him on the very next time our show was on the air. So it was a Saturday. We had him on the Monday.
Peggy Hubbard was at the Trump event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was there. I was up in the pit area with the media, and she was over doing an interview with NTD News, who was just to my left. And when she finished that interview, which I remember sitting there watching her do this interview, and she was doing it barefoot, and she was talking about how like she was very busy and running around, and she couldn't wear her shoes anymore because her feet hurt. And she was buzzing around.
Yeah.
And I introduced myself. I'm Brad. I'm the executive producer of the Andy Frey Show. She said hi and shook hands, and she went on to the next place, and she didn't.
Did she hear you say you were with the Andy Frey Show?
I guess I can't answer for her whether or not she heard me, but I definitely said it.
And you approached her.
Mm-hmm. Right there, the NTD News, which was right to my left, and I just stood up from where I was sitting down, introduced myself, and we had a little chat, and then she walked away. And that was it.
And that's at the Trump rally too.
That's at the Trump
the
rally.
Same time that Matt DeBeal talked to us and got on the show the next day.
I would say it was within 10 yards.
Okay. So, and I'm asking because I interviewed Matt DeBeal. So I'm like, have a vested interest in that.
Yeah, this all comes back on you, Brett.
Well,
what did you do?
Well, you happened to be gone that day.
Just kidding. Yeah.
So
I was on vacation.
You were on
the whole
vacation.
Week. I was gone for the primary.
Right.
Whoops.
Yeah. And so I was filling in, I think that Monday and maybe Thursday and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was the day we had Matt was right after you talked to him. So yeah, just laying out the testimony.
Just giving you context of how we do our business.
That's how it happens.
There's another huge race where this took place, this same kind of scenario. And I'm going to tell you about that one when we come back and how that fits into this category. I just want to, I have no fight here. Like I said, I woke up this morning thinking that the Andy Frey Show and Peggy Hubbard were fighting for the same team. And I mean, I'm still fighting for the same team, but it appears as though I've upset her. And I just want to make sure that in light of what has been put out there about the show, I want people to understand how we do our business and that my focus is squarely on improving the state of Illinois, no matter how hard it might be or how difficult it might seem. That's what I'm there for. More on this when we come back. Don't go away.
I think I've thought myself to death. I was born without this fear. Now only this seems clear.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. More than ever, this is where St. Louis is coming to talk. Computer, smart speaker, radio, phone. People are gathering here. Thanks for listening and staying connected. 97.1 FM Talk.
I want to talk to you about my friend Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. I do take the people who I stand by very seriously, and Stewie has helped my family 2 times with the bagel loan refinance. The first time we did it, it was because rates were crazy low, and we wanted to make sure that we secured it from purchasing our home in 2015. And I think it was 2018 or 2019. We refied. And when you use the bagel loan, you don't pay any fees that other lenders out there will charge you to go through this whole process. So you can save a bunch of money. You can improve your financial situation on a month-to-month basis or on a long-term basis by refinancing and shortening your loan and saving money on interest in the long run. But you don't pay fees that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. And right now, also, if you're staring down at a lot of debt, maybe high interest credit card debt or something that's burdensome to you and the equity is there in your home, I suggest that you call or text Stewie and ask him if the bagel loan can help you. It's helped my family. I know it can help yours as well. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
For eligible individuals 18 and older only. Results vary. Audio effects do not simulate actual hearing aid experience. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With hearing aids from Lively, everything is done remotely in the comfort of your home, from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. With Lively, you get premium Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids at thousands less than you'd might expect. Advanced hearing aid technology is now affordable and convenient. Your hearing aids are sent right to your door. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week for 3 years. No charge.
Oh, you people at Lively are wonderful.
With Lively hearing aids, you get free shipping, 3 years of follow-up care included free, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage. You can't lose.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
And now through Labor Day, get $300 off all rechargeable hearing aid models. Just go to listenlively.com. That's listenlively.com. listenlively.com.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in the neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's preferred James Hardy and Pella expert. Right now, the safest place to invest is in your home. Add curb appeal and value with a fresh new look you'll be proud to own. Check Banner out on the website, bannerconstruction.com, or call 314-569-1050 for a free in-home design consultation. And have a banner day. Again, the website, bannerconstruction.com, or just call 569-1050.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Oh, Hank, what a wonderful spider web you have built for us. I love this fabulous space we have right here in the corner of the kitchen.
Thanks, Charlotte. I think I'll build us a vacation web in the coat closet. Maybe even one in Susie's room, too. Oh no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
SherryKelly.com.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and we're glad you're here. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll: who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? Governor Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rand Paul, or someone else? Leave a comment. Over under on when we get somebody on our chats like, don't you mean cellmate? that's what I would say if I was trolling today.
Yeah. When you said Governor Kristi, I thought for a second, wait a minute, you didn't put Chris Christie on there. And then you said no. I'm like, wait a second, what just
throwing
happened?
you a curveball there. Just think about it, imagine it, see what it would feel like in your head and roll it around. No?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think his time has passed.
Chris Christie was the worst lapdog for Trump. Like, he's not a Trump person, but like when Trump got it, he was like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
And he was always there.
He had that Trump appeal of the fighter for about 10 minutes.
Oh, I loved Chris Christie. As the governor of New Jersey, he was the guy. I'm like, if Jersey gets to have them, then why can't Illinois?
Yeah.
I would take a Chris Christie in Illinois.
No,
Oh my gosh, that would be so exciting.
But he was willing to fight at that time when everybody was playing nice. And he was not doing it pre-Trump.
Yeah,
exactly.
he didn't take
and
no
he got
crap.
a lot of attention for that. His policies weren't really that conservative,
They
but he
weren't-
was a fighter.
They weren't as liberal, though.
But they weren't as liberal.
And
That's
as
right.
New Jersey.
That's right.
I'm just saying, you got to consider the
Yep.
relativity of the matter. All right. So we've been talking a little bit about a little thing going on with the Annie Frey show right now. And after we're done with this segment, I think we're done with the issue.
Okay,
so we just want people to be able to know where we stand because I think it's important, the integrity of my show when it is questioned. I feel like I need to defend it. Why? Because it's my baby and I care for it. And I have dozens of babies and I haven't lost most of them. So I want to continue to care for this one.
And just to confirm before the show, I said, well, then let's just split this baby in half. And Annie said, no. Just let somebody else have it then.
Yes.
And so I said, oh, this must really be your baby then.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're taking over the show.
No.
And this is how this became the Ryan Wiggins show.
Yeah. And so I scooped it up and walked it out.
And here I am. This is Annie's last day. We found out this morning on the show that there was a Facebook post that was posted by Peggy Hubbard, a well-known Politico here in the Metro East of Illinois. She is very active around here. A lot of people know her, huge social media following. And it wasn't really an insinuation. It was pretty bold in her statement that the thing that spurred this is we did an interview with the candidate for the Illinois
Kathy Salvi
Senate seat. And this is after she won the primary. She's the nominee.
Mm-hmm.
This is the person who Illinois has voted for. And she's the person, it makes sense to have her on the show. That's my job. And also, I get to pick. I'm the one who gets to choose. We did not have any Illinois state Senate candidates in the primary on this show before the Trump event. And the primary happened after the Trump event, and I was on vacation. So in my time, we never had, because I was up to the Trump event, which was the Saturday before the primary. We had no guests on the show. We did no interviews for the Illinois Senate seat. Why is that? It's very simple. None of them asked to come on. And I had said to Brad, you can confirm or deny this. I had said to you, if any of them contact us, we book them.
Right.
The same thing is what we did for the Missouri Senate race.
Mm-hmm.
We had on most, if not all of the candidates, and we had them on when they contacted us. Some candidates contacted us more than others, and we had them on more than others. We talked to Mark McCloskey because they reached out to us. Vicky Hartzler's people reached out to us. We talked to Eric Schmidt a lot because they reached out to us on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
And he is also the Attorney General of the state of Missouri and was also doing newsworthy things that were being covered nationally. We had these candidates on when they reached out to us. Eric Greitens never reached out to our show. We know that Eric Greitens was on this radio station, on both the other shows, I believe, frequently on Mark Cox's show in the morning, which is fine. We know, Brad, you said that the Greitens people requested our information?
Yep, requested my contact information, and I never received an email, phone call, or text.
So there was an attempt to acquire the show's contact information. The Greitens people made a decision that one of two things were happening. Coming on my show was not the best use of their time because they had other things to do, or it would be a liability. I don't know which one it was, but that's their choice to make. They didn't ask us. And in a primary, how many times when I was talking about the Missouri Senate primary was I saying, all of these candidates are better than what I'm dealing with Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin in Illinois. I would take any of them.
Yeah, it was like automatic.
Yes, simple. Missouri had options, and good for them for doing it. On the Illinois side of the river, no candidates asked to come on the show until the Saturday before the event, or the Saturday before the primary, when Matt Dubiel asked Brad.
Mm-hmm. That was the only time.
And he was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And he follows the show on Twitter. And he asked to come on, and you made time for him.
Yep.
You spoke personally that day. You approached Peggy Hubbard that day.
Yes.
Like a good executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
You approached her, and she did what?
She spoke with me, she chatted with me, and then she walked away. She never requested to come on the show. She never said, hey, is there a time we can set up where I can come on and make my case or anything like that? Because I'd have been more than happy to have her on. We would have had on all the Senate candidates on Monday with Ryan, because Ryan loves that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was the day before the primary, and it would have been a great day to make your plea to push yourself over the edge if you feel like you're running close.
I want people to consider right now the politically charged climate that we're in, and the aggressive nature with which people are looking to persuade your emotions. And I want you, even when I post anything, I mean, you should do this for everybody because you're smart enough to make your own decisions. I want you to consider that everything that's being presented to you is not factually accurate. The way Peggy Hubbard explained her inability to get on our show is not true. It's a lie. I have screenshot all of them. It's libelous. It's slanderous. She is communicating with people as well in private messages saying that like there's even more, but she has to tell them over the phone about me. I don't even know what it is. Like, I'm kind of excited to see what kind of crap they have on me because I am a super boring person. I do not have skeletons in my closet. And when it comes to, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to weigh in this, and then we're going to get to a break so Wiggins America can happen and we can get on with the show. This show does a lot for the state of Illinois politically. I do a lot for the state of Illinois politically. I don't get paid for most of it. You, Hannah, is now like super invested in Illinois politics.
I am.
And she's our Missouri girl. But Hannah and Brad and Ryan have all come to events with me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm a paid speaker at some of those events. Most of the time, specifically in election season, I tell these people, point me in the direction where I can go if I can help. And they don't pay me. Sometimes they'll give me, like the St. Clair County Republicans, the governor's debate that I didn't make any money on that. I didn't get paid at all for that. I thought it was a valuable use of my time. And they offered in a thank you letter later to make a donation in my name. That was very kind of them. I'm not doing this. The Illinois stuff, as much as it is part of what I do for a living, this is how I feed my kids. I really, really, really do believe what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I care very, very deeply. I'm actually getting emotional about this. Because it's not just a show. It's not just a game. And I have never, ever told anybody that they're not allowed on this show the way I'm being accused of that. And for people who see me outside or people who listen to the show and have a perception of me, and I know what it's like to have an affinity for somebody, and you just kind of hope, you just really hope that they're like how you imagine them to be in your head. And then you meet people and they turn out to be a-holes, and you're like, I wish I never meet your heroes. I want you to understand very seriously that I have never done anything but work hard for this cause. And that those accusations are bologna sausage. And my integrity and my relationship with you, the listener, matters the most. And it's important that you trust me. And I've offered to let her come on today. She did not accept that offer. She said she's going to make a statement at 2:00 on her social media page, but she's not coming to talk here. So I think we're done here.
Yeah. So we've all come into the studio. Usually I'm not in here yet. We've all come in to talk about this because we all wanted to confirm all the things that are being said. It's all true. I mean, I'm not the executive producer, but Brad is.
Yeah.
And everything that he's saying, I can testify to as far as I can see. Everything that Annie said is true as far as I can see. We all talk off the air.
Have we ever had a conversation about that Senate race and any of the candidates in it off air?
No.
Just the only time we talk about it is when somebody would pop it up on the chat.
There like literally before this morning, there was no preconceived notion of anything. No. And I have never, ever had a conversation with anybody in the political world that says, absolutely don't include that person. Nope. Not a single time. And if other people are telling you otherwise, you have a choice of who to believe. I can only tell you what's true.
I've never gotten a phone call during the show about her. I've never gotten an email about her requesting to come on the show. I checked the live stream. We're all super active on social media and check. Never have gotten anything about Peggy Hubbard.
And part of this is frustrating to me too, because I'm new to this business. I mean, we're rolling up on a year in my joining the show. Prior to me joining the show, I've never been an executive producer. I've never been an associate producer. I've never worked in radio. I've never done any of this before. So I take this job very seriously and I work really hard when I do it. and I work really, really hard. And then she comes out here and she says, Brad, you never let me on the show. I mean, she didn't use those words, but that's what I hear. I mean, you're calling into question my integrity. That's not
questioning
fair.
all of our integrity.
That's not
not
fair. That's not the right way of doing this. But, you know, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. Ooh, almost a bad word.
It's worth addressing. It's worth addressing because she's a major candidate.
Yeah. And you know, this isn't, like I said, this is not going to be a thing. It's not going to occupy our time. This was not a fight yesterday. It's not going to be a fight. When this show gets over at 3:00, I have volleyball practice to coach. That's where my mind will be. And then after that, I'll be hungry for dinner. And that's where mine will be. And then I'll be tired. And then I won't sleep. And then I'll play Fortnite. Sorry to take up this amount of time, but I just want people social media is an incredibly powerful thing. And it's so much more charged on emotion than it is fact. And the people who are the best at social media know that. And they use it to their advantage. And sometimes it sideswipes people who are innocent. And I am not going to let my name get tarnished in a way that is not true. Or this show's, or my staff's, or the integrity of what we try to do every day, which is entertain you with radio and give you facts and information, which I have said how many times, folks, especially off air to these people in the studio. My job is to have people on and ask them questions. The person I'm interviewing is supposed to provide answers. I had Richard Irvin on this show. I pressed him on some questions. I asked him 3 times. He never answered a question that I asked him. But I trust you to understand that he is answering the question with a non-answer. I trust you as a listener to be big boys and girls about this and to consume what you hear from what we talk about on the show and take it as your own and put your own perspective on it, which is why I would never tell a candidate they can't come on. Because I trust you to hear that candidate and make your own decision. It is what it is.
Charles says maybe they contacted Kyle Wiggins. If you don't know that inside joke, then sorry.
If you know, you know.
What I need in my life right now is some Wiggins America. Can you imagine that? Do not clip that soundbite.
No,
saving it. It's on the record.
Go rewind and no, it's gone. It's in the ethos.
Nope. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do Wiggins America next.
Are you taking over now?
Surprise.
Is this where it becomes your show?
Just hit the sounder right through the commercial break.
All right. Fire it up. Wiggins America. When we come back, don't go away.
Tell me, is this fair? Is this the way it's really going down?
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. The Mark Reardon Show.
United States Senator Roy Blunt. Senator, would you like to endorse in the United States Senate race?
Well, I actually would, Mark. That wasn't why I called in, but I'm glad to endorse Eric Schmidt.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Comfort zones can be kind of goofy at this time of year because, like we were talking a little bit earlier, your air conditioner could be firing one day, and we're not too far away from maybe having to turn the furnace on. Air Comfort Service is a phone call away. Make sure that your HVAC system is running in tip-top shape and that when you are pumping that air, blowing it through your house, that you're not overusing your system because, folks, energy prices, have you seen them? They're high. You don't want to have a system that's not working efficiently. Air Comfort Service can come in and help you with that. They can help you with any maintenance you'd need, tune-ups, or just a monthly checkup maintenance program. Air Comfort Service are people I trust, and I hope you will consider them as well. If you don't need HVAC right now, I would encourage you to put this number in your phone and just save it for the rainy day when you might. 314-513-0091. Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. aircomfortservice.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1, don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number 2, don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number 3, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the 2 leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell Cordell's St. Louis area attorneys. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Frederick Roofing, wherever you live, from Alton to Afton to Collinsville to Cottleville, Layton to Creve, your city and more. Webster to Wildwood, the one you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
314-645-2000. Aren't you tired of hearing ads that say they're the best, they're the experts, blah, 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 just one unsubstantiated claim after another? Well, here are 2 substantiated claims that actually mean something if you need roof repair or a new roof. With a family-owned business tradition of over 80 years and 80,000 satisfied customers, you can depend on Frederick Roofing, residential or commercial.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Attention veterans. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering, but you must act now. Get your free case review. Call True Law at 877-560-8555, 877-560-8555, or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
Come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby, there we go.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you this afternoon, and we've put it off long enough. Wiggins America, let's hit it.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! So what I've brought you today is 4 people who could play spoiler for president. Not that they are necessarily going to win. I mean, maybe they could, but...
Oh my gosh, I just understood what this sound clip means.
Oh, from Andrew Yang?
I don't know, go on.
You want to start with him?
I don't know.
Let's just start with Andrew Yang.
Okay.
It's because he is...
How does the Forward Party feel about Roe versus Wade? Should it have been overturned?
Well, I personally think that women's reproductive rights are fundamental human rights. But the Forward Party has not left or right, but forward stance on even the most divisive and contentious issues.
Well, what does that mean? Don't you have to take a position on something? Don't you have to take a position on something? You can't just say, well, this is a hot button issue, so I'm not going to take a position on it. You know, if you want to run the country, you're going to have to make some hard decisions, Andrew.
So is that just about Andrew Yang?
It's supposed to be about Andrew Yang because that's Cuomo.
Because when I read the sound clip here, it says Andrew Yang with Jim Acosta. I thought that was the ticket.
Oh no!
Oh,
no! No! Wouldn't that be something?
Like, what?
No.
CNN is falling apart.
Jim Acosta gave him, I would say, actually a pretty good interview where he said, "What are your positions on basically any issue?" And Andrew Yang is the head of this new party, the Forward Party, that's going to run against both Republicans and Democrats. Don't know what kind of a difference they might make. If they pull a couple percentages from one or the other party, though, it could be significant enough to throw the election to one or the other. But they're not taking any positions on anything. And that's their goal, actually. They're saying we're not right or left, we're forward. That's what they just keep saying. And in that whole interview, he says nothing. He says,
That's
well, whatever
the worst possible outcome.
Basically, whatever the middle ground is, we're going to find it and we're going to say that's what we're going to do. But that nobody votes for that unless I guess you could maybe pull off just a couple percentage. Like I said, could play spoiler. Don't know if he will. Wanted to throw this name out there, though, Glenn Youngkin. He looks like he's going to run. He's doing a tour of several states right now, kind of trying to raise his profile anyway. Do you think he could be a problem against any of the candidates right now?
I don't think he'd run against Trump.
No?
No.
Because it looks like he would run within. See, some of these people, they would run third party.
A Republican cannot and would not run against Donald Trump. If you get the Trump blessing, I think it's like landslide stuff.
He's the one I could see maybe doing it just early on enough to continue to raise his profile, and then he drops out pretty quick.
If everybody's chit-chatting around you like, oh, he's going to run for president. I think he's going to run. You think he's going to run? You don't stop that conversation from happening.
Exactly.
Like
Which is
J.B.
what
Pritzker.
Exactly what I was going to say. J.B. Pritzker is probably doing. I doubt he's going to run, but maybe he could. But he loves the conversation. Mike Pence, I don't see him making a huge dent on the GOP nomination, but he is a name in there that I figured I'd throw out.
He would be going against what he built in America First if he did that. And I'm not down on Mike Pence like many of you folks might be, but he can't effectively do it.
No.
He can be effective in the cause moving forward, the America First cause moving forward, but not like that.
Yeah, keyword there, effective. What is he effectively going to do?
Yeah.
And
His profile or the America First?
I can imagine him, running in the primary, but once he would lose the primary, I can't see him being
especially not against Trump.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Last name really quick. I have hard opinions about this, but I want to know what yours are. Liz Cheney, you think she's going to run third party?
Yes.
Yep.
Not as a Republican, but third party.
Yes.
Yep. I do too.
Man,
I do too.
Democrats love them some Liz Cheney.
Yeah, because I think the money's going to be there and the media is going to be there that she will absolutely take advantage of that.
Would you rather Liz Cheney be the president than a Democrat?
Yeah, but that's not even the question. She won't win anything.
That's not your question. That's my question.
Yeah, I guess I would.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Liz Cheney, I think, is actually an independent who could not make an embarrassing showing.
That's why she concerns me.
Yeah.
That she would pull too much from the Republican and
she would
hand
pull
it to
as much
Joe
for the
Biden.
Democrats, though, especially if it's Biden. Oh my gosh. Jim Carafano, Stephen Moore, we come back. Don't go away.
Here's football legend Howie Long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free, using the phone, turning on your lights, heck, even driving. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. Let me tell you, these things are amazing. You don't need to lace up, and they're even better than your standard slip-on sneakers. This is next-level slip-in technology, where you don't need to reach down and help your heel in. You just step in, and off you go. It's that easy. So what's the secret? There's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place, and also keeps your feet secure in heavenly comfort, which means they stay on just like a pair of lace-up sneakers. And you can even slip into them while you're sitting down. Make your life easier and go hands-free with Skechers' new hands-free slip-in footwear. You'll never have to struggle putting on your shoes again.
Get hands-free slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hey, this is Ryan Wiggins. I've said it before. You need to be getting better sleep, and that's why you should visit Fountains Family Dentistry. A few of the symptoms that you might have that indicate you have sleep apnea, because if you're not getting sleep, it could be several things, but sleep apnea is a very common one. A lot of people don't even know they've had it because you've kind of drifted into it over your adult life. That's what happened to me. Those symptoms are irritability, loud, persistent snoring. That's the main one. Restless sleep. And if you know you've gotten pauses in breathing, then you know you've got sleep apnea. The way to fix that, at least the first diagnosis you should make, is at Fountains Family Dentistry in Fairview Heights, Illinois. They will tell you whether or not they can help you, because some people, they're going to go, you know what, you may actually need a CPAP. But a lot of people, if you have a CPAP, you can get on to this dental retainer, and it's way easier to travel with, way easier to use, doesn't bother the person you're sleeping next to, and it doesn't bother you. So check them out, fountainsfamilydentistry.com. That's where you can set an appointment with them, and also give them a call, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
It will be the summer of joy in Chicago.
Instead, the trio of Pritzker, Lightfoot, and Fox have made this another summer of murder, mayhem, and chaos.
My granddaughter FaceTimed us saying, "Help me, Daddy's shot
They threw him and they executed him in front of her, and then they shot at her.
Thanks to Governor Pritzker, the lawlessness of Chicago will soon be the law statewide. Pritzker's so-called Safety Act makes Illinois a safe haven for violent criminals. That's why 100 of Illinois' 102 county state's attorneys oppose Pritzker's mandatory release of alleged murderers, kidnappers, and arsonists. Prosecutors like Will County State's Attorney Jim Glasgow.
It's going to be literally the end of days.
And prosecutors like DuPage County State's Attorney Bob Berlin.
We are going to have violent criminals out on the street.
Stop Chicago violence from coming to your town. Vote no on J.B. Pritzker. Paid for by people who play by the rules PAC.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The defense says there was no plot. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. But a federal jury disagrees in Michigan, convicting two men, Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr., of conspiring to kidnap Michigan's governor.
The defendants in this case believe that their anti-government views justified violence. Today's verdict is a clear example that they were wrong in that assessment.
David Porter is the special agent in charge for the FBI's Detroit field office. Fox and Croft had accused the FBI of entrapment. A jury had failed to reach a unanimous verdict in April when two other defendants were acquitted. In a written statement, Governor Gretchen Whitmer says today's verdicts prove violence and threats have no place in our politics. She also calls for a hard look at the status of our politics. In California, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pleads guilty in a DUI case.
Paul Pelosi is now a convicted drunk driver. He was not here in person, but through his attorney, entered a guilty plea to one count of misdemeanor DUI. A second count was dropped, and he agreed to a long list of penalties.
Fox's Claudia Cowan in Napa. Those penalties include fines, DUI classes, 3 years probation, and no additional jail time after time served from his arrest and a one-day work program. Pelosi collided with another car on his way home from a dinner party in May, injuring the other driver. The U.S. set to send another $3 billion in aid to Ukraine. Officials telling the Associated Press a formal announcement will come tomorrow, which is Ukraine's Independence Day in 6 months since Russia's invasion. More than 40 countries, part of a virtual summit today, focusing on the 2014 invasion that seized Crimea.
Governments willing to flout these principles in one place rarely stop there. That's what Russia's actions in Ukraine teach us.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken rejecting Russia's ongoing efforts to claim parts of Ukraine as its own. America is listening to Fox News.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Over the past 30 years, I've had people come up to me, often other lawyers, to tell me what a clever marketing idea it was for Cordell & Cordell to commit to men in divorce. Though intended as a compliment, such statements have always bothered me. For one thing, it's far from clear that a decision that's likely to disaffect half the market is a good business decision. But more troubling is the presumption that Cordell & Cordell's success is largely a result of good marketing. I think if you ask one of our 300-plus attorneys or one of our 100,000-plus former clients, that you'd hear a lot about practice skills, experience, client care, and integrity. These are the much harder things that best account for the growth and reputation over time of any law firm, including Cordell & Cordell. Having said all this, I am proud of our marketing messages, and I do want guys to know that we're here to help them. If we can help you, give us a call.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. CordellCordell.com.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
How about plenty of sunshine on this Tuesday afternoon? Nice temperatures, nice humidity. 85 will do it for the high. Tonight, clear skies, a slow drop out of the 80s into the upper 70s this evening. 65 Wednesday, keeping it quiet, keeping it nice. All the moisture staying well south. Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny and 87. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
We are less than 3 months before the midterms, and our brand new NBC News poll paints a pretty bleak picture. Americans are angry, they're disappointed,
and they are worried about the future of this country.
Stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community.
To make certain that the FBI is returned, the leadership of the FBI is returned to being a non-political agency.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Lakeside Renovation and Design, you invite them into your home to transform the sore area in your house to give you that dream kitchen. Think ahead. Think about the time that you spend in your home. Think about the time in the last few years that you've spent in your home, and knowing in your mind what you've always wanted to dream into reality. Lakeside Renovation and Design can do this for you. They can take that dream and turn it into a reality. If you have exactly in your mind what you want, you can talk to them and they can make it happen. If you know that you hate what you have and you have, I'm using the kitchen analogy here. Maybe you know that you want a double oven and you want an apron sink or whatever it is. You can tell those types of things to the design part of Lakeside Renovation and Design, and they will help you formulate things that maybe you didn't even know were in existence, or conveniences or finishes. Lakeside Renovation and Design is there to help you through the whole process. Their folks, when they come over, are going to clean up every single day. They're going to show up on time, and they're going to deliver every time. 636-978-5000. You can find them online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
If it's just another day, that doesn't mean you deserve just another shower. Nebbia by Moen Quattro creates 4 unique shower experiences: relieve, soothe, clarify, and cleanse, to give you all the escape while using 50% less water than standard showers, making your everyday routine an experience. Water designs our life. Who designs for water? Moen.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com. Keeping you connected and aware. In the world, the country, and the community.
And offering more ways than ever to listen conveniently. Tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk or download the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Most of those promises were broken by President Biden's decision to withdraw all forces from Afghanistan. I did not think myself being here, being interviewed on Fox News, I was hopeful for my future in my own country, serving my own people. But unfortunately, because of the decision made by President Biden, here I am with hundreds of thousands of my fellow citizens leaving their country, starting life from scratch here and across the world. and tens of thousands of them still at refugee camps in Pakistan, in the UAE, in Qatar, and even in Ukraine. Their lives are destroyed, their hopes are destroyed, our country is destroyed, and everything that we have achieved in the past 20 years because of the presence of the international community, they're all gone.
That is Afghan interpreter Jamil Hassan speaking with Fox News, and he said most of the promises made to us were broken by President Biden. Now, we've talked previously in the last week or so, with it being the year anniversary of the tragic exit in Afghanistan that cost American lives. It cost many, many lives that weren't American as well. And a year later, what I would assume is the biggest debacle of this president's administration so far, where are we? And what kind of position is America in because of the obvious priority, no matter what the consequences were, for the Biden administration to pull out of Afghanistan the way they did, when they did, the whole 9 yards? Well, we ask our expert friend about that, the Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at Heritage Foundation, Jim Carafano. Jim, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Hey, you guys were a trivia question on TV last night. Was it
really?
Like, what are the initials? Yeah, what state is the initials MO? And some Yahoos said like Mississippi or something.
Oh,
else. Like,
no. Oh, that's not good.
Hey, I got good news and bad news for you.
Okay. Bad news
Let's
first?
start with the bad.
Yeah.
Okay. The consequences of Afghanistan. Well, first of all, obviously the war in Ukraine. I mean, I think the withdrawal in Afghanistan was just another green light for Putin to think that the United States was disengaging in the world and that he could get away with this. And, if he had a lightning advance that had captured, the capital of Ukraine, he would have well been right. So 40 million Ukrainians put at risk, 1 million Ukrainians hostage, Europe in turmoil, worried about freezing this winter, the United States embarrassed the humiliated on the world stage. Chalk that up as one consequence. The Chinese, obviously, in Taiwan, again, seeing weakness in the United States, becoming more aggressive. All that from Afghanistan. The terrorist strike, in Kabul, showing that Al Qaeda is back in Afghanistan in a major way, where they that they will plan the next 9/11 and never more at risk because our border is so wide open. So all of these are the cascading, downside. And the thing is, and has this administration learned its lesson? And the answer is no. So we left behind $7 billion in military equipment in Afghanistan. Last week, this administration was negotiating with the Taliban to release $7 billion to them. So gifting $14 billion to the Taliban. Last week alone, they owed $30 million in aid to Afghanistan to help with gender and women issues on money that you just know is going to fall into the hands of the Taliban. So, yes, it was a disaster. No, the administration has not learned anything from that. That's the downside.
I was just going to say, there has to be at least a somewhat measurable good side to this. No?
So the U.S. has new opportunities to improve our positioning in the world and our ability to project American interests. And that has nothing. And after Afghanistan, I mean, we were in worse shape. I mean, we opened up a whole new space for China. We made the flank of our ally India more vulnerable, made it more difficult to contain the Chinese. But there's a new opportunity, and that is in the South Caucasus. So if there's two ways to get to South Asia. One, of course, is you can go up through India, and then you can come across from China, and which gets you into Central Asia and all the stands and everything. And of course, losing Afghanistan, American interest, the American ability to influence anything evaporated, counterterrorism evaporated, influence evaporated, economic opportunities evaporated. So the other way to get there is to come from the European side and across the Black Sea, Georgia, Azerbaijan, the Caspian Sea into Central Asia. Because the Russians have been so threatening, in invading Ukraine, all the other countries on their border are much more interested in partnering with the United States and Western Europe. So that would include countries like Georgia and Azerbaijan, because Europe is now trying to get away from Russian energy blackmail. They're interested in sources of energy. It'd be nice if the United States produced more gas and oil. Yeah. But one of that is Azerbaijan and the Central Asian states. And actually, they just opened up this thing called the Southern Gas Corridor, which now allows you to take gas from Azerbaijan across Georgia, Turkey, Sicily into Western Europe. So that's going to help them get through the winter. So we have, a potential to work with countries like Georgia and Azerbaijan and maybe even Uzbekistan and other countries. That's an area of stability. It's in the line between Russia and Iran and China, and I think it represents new sources of energy for the West, a new source of political stability. It's an area that the U.S. hasn't thought much about ever, because during the Cold War it was in the Soviet space, and in the 90s we just didn't care about anything, and it was very troubled because there was a war between Armenia and Azerbaijan and all kinds of issues. But today it represents opportunities. So look, it's always about America first. Something Biden has really forgotten.
Yeah.
But America first doesn't mean America alone, and it doesn't mean America, hiding off the Jersey Shore. America is a global power with global interest responsibility. It's about prudence, acting responsibly, not wasting taxpayer money, not taking excessive risks, not trying to babysit the world, but just looking after our stuff.
Yeah.
And so we have opportunities to do that, and we should take advantage of that. And honestly, instead, what we have under the Biden administration, sadly, is we're either empowering enemies, like giving $14 billion to the Taliban, or negotiating as we speak to give $1 trillion to the Iranians from the Iran deal. So we're either empowering our enemies or we're trashing our friends, like Guatemala in Latin America, or allies in Western Europe, because they're not woke enough. So I don't know how we would negotiate through this administration, but Afghanistan was not a rookie mistake. Afghanistan was the first signal of the weakness of this administration, and I just don't think they're going to change the next 4 years. And if good things happen, I think it's because we have allies and maybe people in the Congress or the states who are pushing this administration to do the right thing, because of their own intent, they are just annoying friends and empowering enemies.
Man. Jim Carafano with us right now, Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at Heritage Foundation. I keep hearing you say this on a regular basis, America first, but it doesn't mean America alone. Just some context here for people who don't have all the expertise that you do, and where that not America alone part comes in, because we see our government spending our tax dollars that we haven't even made yet like crazy here on the home front. And then we see another, the articles just come through on a regular basis now. It's like it doesn't even pique people's interest. Another 40 billion here, or another 80 billion there. Are we being judicious with our funds? And if we aren't, is that a threat to our own national security?
Absolutely. Undermining our own economic strength is maybe the greatest threat. It's like 1,000 9/11s. This administration has already spent 9 times the defense budget on a bunch of domestic priorities that are all about that are going to do nothing to empower everyday Americans, let alone defend this. I'll give you an example. So they passed this CHIPS Act, which is supposed to, help build up the semiconductor industry, so we have more secure supply chains against China. Only 25% of that actually is an investment in semiconductors out of the $200 billion. So even if this was such a big deal, you'd think we'd actually spend money on it. What's in the other 150 billion? Nonsense. So, for example, this morning, 2 senators from a state which I shall remain nameless, Virginia, announced proudly that they had put an earmark in this bill for a $350,000 grant for a local university to study racial equity in the tech industry.
Mm.
So not to combat China, not to produce anything, but to spend $350,000 to tell us that we're not woke enough. That's what you're getting from this government. And, you know, when people complain about defense spending and look, don't get me wrong, every nickel that the taxpayer entrusts to the federal government ought to be held accountable for that. It ought to be transparent for that, and it ought to be a responsible steward of that tax dollar. But having said that, if people are concerned about wasteful spending, you look right here at home where they have spent 7 times the defense budget in less than 9 times the defense budget in less than 2 years for a bunch of stuff that is going to do nothing to put food on your table, nothing to pay your rent, nothing to improve the life of you and your family. They're going to take your money. They're going to treat you like their personal ATM where they get to make withdrawals and they don't have to make any deposits.
Ugh, man, Jim Carafano with us right now. Last question. This is a broad question, but in the context of what you're saying right now, I just have to ask it. Is America a weak country?
Well, we are weaker than we were 2 years ago, but I'll give you the flip side of that. You know, it's like America's like an athlete that, you know, you go to the gym, you work out, you know, you're ready to go through stage 2 in American Ninja. But if you sit in the lazy chair and eat popcorn, you know, and watch American Ninja, you get, you know, lazy and out of shape. Under Donald Trump, you know, he had this country up and running. Under Joe Biden, we have taken a world-class athlete and we basically threw them in a chair, and now we're feeding them, you know, Cokes and Twizzlers and tell them to shut up and watch television. We are our own worst enemy. There's no question about that.
Well, the clock is ticking on that for sure. And each week we talk to you, we always try to look for a bright side. It's been hard to find, but we always appreciate you trying, Jim, to give us some sort of hope for the future.
Side?
Yeah,
it
could be about anything. It doesn't even have to be about foreign policy.
I'll give you a bright side. We have the Annie Frey Show.
Oh, man, I needed that today. Jim, thank you so much. We love talking to you. We'll get you back here next week.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye. The Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at the Heritage Foundation, Jim Carafano. That was nice. I didn't even tell him to say that. Brad, did you tell him? Did you set up Jim Carafano to say that?
I did not, because I don't talk to him directly. I talk to his person.
His people?
I talk to his people.
Are you my people?
I'm your people.
Oh.
Well, Hannah and I are your people.
You're all my people. I'm your people. That's the way this works. Quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey Show right around the corner, including that YouTube live chat poll. Who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? Governor Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rand Paul, or somebody else? The sky's the limit. You can go on to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and you'll see in the live chat where the poll is. You can vote there. And if you want to vote someone else, or if you want to vote for the first 3, leave us a comment and tell us who and why. We'd love to hear it. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Free speech is a lie. Right here at the frequency of 97.1. It's where St. Louis comes to talk. Freely. 97.1 FM Talk.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm.
Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you've bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I want to talk to you about my friend Jen Teske with RE/MAX Alliance and why she's such a smart choice for you if you're looking to sell your home on the Illinois side of the river, or if you're looking to relocate in Illinois to Illinois. Jen Teske can help you. She is such a gem. She is so kind and so feisty. Exactly what you need with this person who's going to go through the super high stress part of your life. It's a good stress, but it's got to get done. It's got to get done right. And you got to get top dollar out of it. Jen Teske can help you through this whole process. Now I'm going to give you her phone number here in just a second and explain to you how she can help you. You can call or text it. I also want to direct you to my Facebook page, the Annie Frey Show Facebook page, or Jen Teske's Facebook page, because today she has a free real estate tax appeal workshop from 3 to 6 p.m. If you are interested in learning how to appeal your property taxes in Madison County, this is your opportunity to learn everything you need to know. I trust Jen Teske with this information. She's on top of all of it. Reach out to Jen Teske and figure out how she can help you sell your house, appeal your taxes, so on and so forth. 618-541-1010. You can call or text at 618-541-1010.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but Aamco to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Aamco offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at Aamco.
AAMCO.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Trials and tribulations. Vanessa Russell became the first in her family to earn a bachelor's degree, but she's also graduating with student loan debt.
The last time I checked, it was approximately $48,000. They come to find you.
Russell says a debt collector called her while she was working.
They asked for Vanessa. They're like, this is the debt collector, basically collecting. We were trying to find you. Like, when are you going to pay your student debt?
At one point, Russell temporarily dropped out of school.
I did have to leave Columbia and pay a balance that was due in order for me to go back.
But she's not alone. Data shows there is about $1.6 trillion in federal student loan debt. Tavia Ridgway wants a six-figure salary, but right now she has nearly a six-figure student loan debt.
I'd be in the range of like 80 to 100K
just based on my tuition rates right now.
That's even after Tavia became a resident advisor to cut down on her room and board costs.
You should get a free education because you can't put a price on knowledge.
Okay, so you listen to CNN and you're hearing how they're covering this story. Two things that I just heard there. When this first woman said, when you don't pay your debts, quote, they come to find you. Well, pay your debts. That's pretty simple. The other thing she said is she had to leave Columbia, but in order to come back, she had to pay a balance. What? I don't even know where to start with this. Stephen Moore probably is not even going to come on the show because he's gouging his ears out. He's on with us right now. Senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks. I mean, these people just don't seem to even understand actually how debt works.
Yeah. What was that clip? I couldn't understand. Was
CNN.
It was CNN. That's an
report.
Advertisement for. I mean, this is like, look, this is outrageous. It is so unjust and so unfair that people, like my wife, who she graduated from UCLA with probably $70,000 of debt, and because she didn't come from a wealthy family, she had to, take out loans. And then for her first 6 years, even when she was just making $35,000, $40,000 a year, she made the sacrifice. She paid back that loan, which is what upstanding people do, people of honor.
Yeah.
People are deadbeat. Look, if you don't pay back your loans, you're a deadbeat. I said it. You're a deadbeat. And we're going to basically say to the deadbeats who took out the loans and that they don't have to repay it. And Annie, you can tell I'm so damn mad about this.
Yeah.
How many people in the future do you think will ever repay a student loan?
For sure. Well, there's no reason to. I mean,
Exactly.
it's almost dumb to pay your student loans at this point.
But you know what this is, right, Annie? I mean, what has the left been arguing for 20 years? They want free college. So you want to see tuitions go through the roof. Already, the tuitions that colleges and universities charge are the biggest financial scandal in American history. Now, if the taxpayer is paying for it, you're going to see these universities charging $100,000 a year, and then the taxpayers are going to be paying back the money. That's their scheme, folks. And the idea that people who haven't done the right thing and paid back their loan are going to get that erased, and yet the people who did, it makes people like my wife look like big suckers.
Yeah. And the biggest frustration to me yesterday, we do a daily poll every day on the show. Yesterday was, will the president forgive or cancel some or all student loan debt before the midterms? And 76%, I think, people said they would. The problem that I have with all of this is, while there is a massive debt problem that I would acknowledge is a problem in this country, we don't even talk about the value for what we're getting, for what we're investing in this. The education is not an employee and an employer factory. It's a voter factory.
Well put. And, these kids who are graduating with ethnic studies degrees or psychology degrees or sociology degrees or basket weaving degrees. I mean, these kids are paying, $150,000 for a 4-year degree that's worthless to employers. Worthless. Employers just want kids who know how to do something. And now, look, I'm not against a liberal arts education. I got one at the University of Illinois. I got a good education, but I also learned a lot of practical skills that, helped me in my career. You've got kids who are growing up, getting graduate degrees, and they're not worth anything.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pay them back all this money. So here's my solution to what was the number, $1.5 trillion outstanding debt? Why don't we ask the universities to take some of their billions and billions and billions of dollars in endowments and use that money to pay off the debt?
Well, that's a good question, because the system, the way it is, there's a lot of money in education. It's not yeah, there's a ton. It's where all the money is. Who does that system protect? And if you start scratching on that surface that you're talking about, Stephen Moore, who does it hurt?
Well, first of all, we know who it protects. It protects the, university professors who make $300,000 a year and teach, 4 hours a week. I mean, it's the cushiest job in America. Most of them are left wingers. They teach anti-America, garbage to our kids, and we're paying them, and then we're going to have to be the ones who foot the bill because we're going to repay these debts for people. And then, I think so. I don't know the exact details. I don't think has he made the formal announcement yet, or is that coming tomorrow?
I read that it was coming Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow. So, the news reports say that if you're making less than $110,000 a year, you don't have to pay back the loan. And I'm like, $110,000 a year.
How many people make over $110,000 a year?
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're 4 years out of college. I make $110,000 a year, but I'm 61 years old.
Well, and also think about the people who might be high earners because they went to school and they had a lot of debts, but they're also high earners right now. To me, it seems like if you're going to forgive debt for people who took a loan out and invested in their education because they chose to go have a successful career and make a lot of money, doesn't seem to me that they should be any less entitled to the taxpayer dollars. Yeah. They're going to pay off these loans for other people, that a lot of that tax base is coming out of those high earners' paychecks. I mean, it's all or nothing to me, and I think it should be nothing.
So this is all about income redistribution, obviously. It's all about feeding the beast of higher education. But there's another thing. You're there in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
You're not far. Are you familiar with the College of the Ozarks?
Yes.
You know what the tuition is there?
It's like work study, right? Don't they get jobs there?
It's basically zero.
Yeah, it's great.
Tuition, now people probably scratching their head if you haven't heard of this. How can they charge the kids nothing? You know what the kids do? They work 20 hours a week while they're in school getting their degree. And they use that money to repay the cost of education. Gosh, what a concept. A 21-year-old should have to work 20 hours a week. I mean, that means they probably couldn't party all weekend long and go to the fraternities and get drunk. And by the way, I've met those kids. I've been out there 3 or 4 times over the last 10 years giving lectures there. The best kids I've ever met. And most of them are first-generation college kids. And you know what? Because they have to work for it, Annie, they actually get value out of it.
Yeah, they're
because
committed.
There's an old saying, my mom used to say it all the time, and this may come from Ben Franklin, but anything easily attained is lightly regarded. And that's true. If everybody's just paying, if you actually have to pay for it yourself, you're going to make damn sure you're getting a good education. If somebody else is paying for it, you just move along.
Man, that is so true. Stephen Moore with us right now, talking to us about yet another expansion of government. And you can learn all about this in his book, Godzilla, How the Relentless Growth of Government is Devouring Our Economy and Our Freedom. I think about the way that we utilize this time, which is why the system is so important for the people who are protecting it to protect it, is because, it used to be, the idea was you go to school, you go to university, you go to college or whatever, and you learn that nobody's giving you nothing and you're going to have to make something of yourself. So here's what you need to know. Now go make something yourself. Now you go to school and you learn that everybody's out to get you and everybody owes you everything. And you get out and you stick your hands out and the Democrats are there to fill them.
Now, I still have about $400,000 worth of money unpaid on my mortgage. Is that for me?
Yeah. Why not? Why is it any different?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How is it? It's teaching these kids a horrible lesson too. If I sign a contract with you, Annie, I'm obliged by law to honor the terms of that contract. And a loan is a contract. And so the idea that we're just going to forgive it, you can tell I'm really upset about this. And incidentally, Biden and the Democrats think this is a big political winner. I think they're dead wrong. I think Americans are so angry about this because they realize it's just unfair and it's setting a bad example and it's bad for our country.
Yeah, imagine all the blue collar workers out there that generally have supported Democrats. They didn't go get a college. They learned a trade. They're making money and now they're going to pay off for a liberal arts degree.
Exactly.
Stephen Moore, we will be in touch with you.
I got my blood boiling
I'm
today.
so sorry. Go listen to some Zen music and I don't know, think of the good old days.
Okay.
Bye, Stephen Moore.
Care.
Thank
Have
you.
A great week.
You as well. Bye-bye. Senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks. That book, Godzilla, How the Relentless Growth of Government is Devouring Our Economy and Our Freedom, a great read for you to pick up. A light read. It's not too terribly long, pretty simple to get through. And make sure you let Stephen Moore, you heard about it here on the Annie Frey Show. Quick break, more Annie Frey Show. When we come back, the YouTube live chat poll, who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate in 2024? Governor Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rand Paul, or someone else. You can leave a comment and make your suggestion. Hannah is highlighting those comments as we go through. She's got quite a few. Make sure you get yours in there as well, and she'll pick her favorites at the end of the show when she gives us those poll results. More Annie Frey Show in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
The Mark Reardon Show. United States Senator Roy Blunt. Senator, would you like to endorse in the United States Senate race? Well, I actually would, Mark. That wasn't why I called in, but I'm glad to endorse Eric Schmidt.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Man, what a great time of year it is to be grilling. I think we said earlier it was about 82 degrees when the show started. It means wonderful evenings. So I invite you to put your arm around a local favorite, that is Andrea's sauce, as you're grilling. Put your protein in it at the beginning of the day. We do that a lot. Marinate it. It tastes great, but you don't have to do that kind of work. You don't have to think ahead because it's a brush on steak sauce. So when I say steak sauce, it's really not like any other steak sauce that you've ever had. And that's what makes Andrea's unique, is that you brush it on while you're cooking. Or I said, you can do it ahead of time too, but you don't have to think that far ahead. Brush it on while you're cooking and enjoy your evenings because they are great right now. Here's where you can get Andrea's sauce. Local grocery stores like Schnucks and Straub's and Dierberg's. You can also pick it up on their website at andreas.com. Here's another thing that you need to consider though. Andrea's is locally made, and you will never find a fresher bottle of Andrea's than right here, but it is now internationally famous, and people from all over the world order Andrea's because they know it is that unique. So get a bottle of it. If you've never had a local favorite here, Andrea's sauce, you can get a bottle right now at andreas.com.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
The attorneys at Cordell Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact Cordell Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This advertisement is paid for by Lacuna Ventures, LLC. For terms and conditions, visit yourrights.legal. Attention! If you or someone you know spent time at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina prior to 1988 and developed serious health conditions such as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, lung cancer, bladder, breast, or kidney cancer, you may be eligible for significant financial compensation. Call Camp Lejeune victims to discuss your case now at 800-813-9968. Leaking underground tanks contaminated the drinking water with benzene and other highly carcinogenic chemicals, up to 280 times acceptable levels. Marines, their families, contractors, or employees who spent at least 30 days at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune prior to 1988 and developed a serious health condition, called to determine your eligibility for financial compensation. If you don't win, you pay nothing. It's critical to take action and call now. 800-813-9968. That's 800-813-9968. Again, 800-813-9968.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here. It's one in, one out.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out, so please visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
If you need to sell your home to buy a new home, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gellman of eXp Realty on your side, fighting for every dollar for you. Check out thegellmanteam.com. That's thegellmanteam.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Wake up, listen, see, and weep. The movie's over, it's 4 o'clock, and we're in trouble deep. Wake up, please, Susie. Wake up, please,
figures come out about how much it's meant to cost to raise children, there's always a sort of nasty edge to it, isn't it? The Economist did this a couple of years ago. They called it the child tax. And I remember thinking, like, there's something very nasty in the society when you start to talk about children as being like a tax on you. Because, like,
Aren't they?
who are you? Well, you could look at it like that. You could think, like, when I die, I'll leave an extra $300,000 in my bank account and that'll show them. But on the other hand, you've got kids. It's kind of positive.
I'd love that from Doug Murray last night on Gutfeld's show. There's this thing that's out there right now. Have you seen this story about the cost to raise kids?
No, I haven't.
So this they always do this. What's the real value of a stay-at-home mom?
Yeah.
Like they're always trying to monetize that. I've thought this, but I think he was the first person that I've heard put this into words in a way that I was like, yes, that. Like I didn't say it, I didn't think those words, but I'm like, yes, this constant pursuit to monetize parenting, children, the value of a stay-at-home probably parent now, it actually kind of demeans the thing about it that's so great is that it's beyond that. It doesn't have a price. I think that was a really interesting point he made.
The study and the research you're talking about, is it saying that this is how much money this person either could be making if they weren't doing that?
Well, the latest one is talking about how much money it takes to raise a kid. So like if you were somebody who was of childbearing age and you were thinking about starting a family and you saw this, you might go, well, I can't do that.
You're already doing that when you're thinking about having a kid, especially the first one. You're going, is it time?
It never is like,
it's never the time.
It's never like, well, since I have these piles of cash now.
Yeah. Finally, we got our cash piles.
Yeah. Cost of raising a child grows to over $300,000. This is from the New York Post. According to a new analysis, the cost of raising a child through the age of 17 has risen upward of $300,000. I'm surprised it's not more, due to soaring inflation. So this is the inflation tie-in. Roughly $18,270 a year, a 9% increase from the previous estimate, which makes sense because that's inflation.
That's inflation. It's 9%. Yeah.
So it's almost like,
is
that actually like science, or did you just take the number from last year and multiply it times 109%?
I was looking at the headlines, and then I talked to 15 people who all agreed with that same headline that inflation was indeed 9%. Okay.
If anybody was ever going to look at their children and assess their monetary value.
Oh,
Ryan
Wiggins.
You would do that.
I'm not saying I've never done that. Right now, they're at a zero.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Worth?
Yeah, they have zero net worth. Worth.
Not worth to you.
Yes, to society, they are producing nothing.
But I mean, when you think about, when you hear someone say, it's gonna, you've got 3 kids. It's $300,000 a kid. Do you ever go, that's true, I think I only want 2 now? Like it's never like that's an absurd thought. And so we're constantly looking in this superficial world that we live in to level the playing field. And I think like the parenting thing, the kid thing, you can level the playing field by putting a dollar amount on. I mean, this is kind of super deep for me as a mom who has 4 kids. I do have a career. I have put things that I want to do in my career on hold because I have young children. I've had opportunities and I have passed up on them because I have young children. I don't know if I get that opportunity offered to me in 10 years, will I take it? Maybe. Will I get it in 10 years? Maybe not. But I have to make choices. But it's like if you're in a society that's constantly valuing self, to have children is selfless because you were going to sacrifice things for yourself for those kids. There are other people who would say having children is selfish because, people talk about having big families and like taking up all the resources. We've got a shrinking population. Who's going to be the nurse in your nursing home? It's going to be one of my brood. So we need more people, not less, especially when you think about the baby boomers and how big their generation is, the way what they're aging into retirement and Social Security, and then you have our millennial Gen Xers that are smaller. How does this system work out? So I had 4 kids.
When the triangle's
did my
upside
part.
down,
It's not good.
no, it's bad.
It's interesting what you just hit on, though, because you talked about basically 2 different full philosophies that are playing out within kids, but that apply to many, many different things. When you have somebody saying that kids are selfish because I'm thinking of the greater good and I'm looking at all of society and resources, versus somebody who has kids and realizes this is not selfish at all. This is the opposite of selfish. You're bringing it down to a very, very individual level.
But I'm going to stop you on that first part there. You said the person that looks at you and say you're selfish for having all those kids because you're eating up all the resources. You know who they're worried about not having resources? Themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're kind of selfish because you want these resources for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it just
Or
seems
you have babies and make them be farmers, and then there'll be more food.
Well, I mean, you need lots of babies if you're going to have a farm.
Yeah.
baby farm.
I think that's what they call my house. I think that if dozens of children, I think when you look at a report like this, it says, $300,000 to raise a child. I think the underlying purpose is to use that as a way for people who choose not to have kids to see their own value. So if you know, Brad, you don't have kids, Ryan and I have kids, Hannah doesn't have kids. People do have kids and people don't have kids. People who have kids that they didn't want initially. People who don't have kids wish that they do have kids. Some people who don't want to have kids or don't have kids don't want to have kids. I mean, everybody has different circumstances and different life situations that puts them into the situation they're in. But if you put a dollar on it, a dollar amount on it, then we can all play in the same sandbox and we can all assess our own worth comparative to the other person. And if you're somebody who chose not to have kids, like I feel very strongly that young women right now are discouraged from starting families and they are encouraged to start careers. And that comes out of a women's movement that worked to make sure women could have careers if they wanted them. That's a positive thing. Hi, here I am. I have a career, a full-time career. That's a good thing. I'm not disparaging that, but whether I choose to raise my kids at home or whether I choose to not have kids and have a full-time career, or whether I choose to do a hybrid of both of them, has zero indication on your worth for what you choose. There's no like women need to be empowered and women need to be in the boardroom. No, that's not it. And as soon as you put a dollar amount on it, to me, it turns it into a language that people who are getting the measuring stick out want to use to measure up to other people. And I just think, I'm sorry, it's priceless to me.
And it's also dehumanizing to assign a dollar amount to a human being. That's a person. You know, you've got 4 little persons growing up in your house.
One of them's not so little anymore.
Yeah. Well, they're still little.
Yeah. In my mind.
It is though, priceless is the right word.
Absolutely.
And not just in the, the American Express sense. Everything is priceless,
Priceless. That's a good campaign if you're still talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't done that for probably a decade. I'm still talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no value you can assign that's going to make you think, oh, you know what? Probably better if I only have 3 kids instead of 4. That stuff it doesn't mean anything. The decision to have a kid really is almost completely outside of finances.
And completely the same thing for the reports that come out that assess the value of a stay-at-home mom. Because listen, I am not a stay-at-home mom. I don't think I could be a stay-at-home mom. But all of the things that a quote-unquote stay-at-home mom does still have to get done.
Yeah.
There is a different priority. And the truth is the value of that choice that a woman makes or a man makes to stay at home is intrinsic in their own experience. And it is not something that you can put a price on. The idea that for somebody's heart to tell them as a parent, I need to be at home for my kids. That's what I need to be fulfilled. If you need someone to put a dollar amount on that to make you feel really fulfilled, you need to reassess.
Yeah, it's those reports that actually drive me more crazy.
Because they're by like people who just are mad. I don't know. It's a really broad generalization.
Go with it.
It feels to me like you're trying to evaluate something that can't be.
You can't. And if you do, the very process of doing it, you and Stephen Moore were just talking about this. Putting a value on something like that actually makes you less grateful, because then you're going, well, here's everything I'm not getting. That's not the point of what you're doing.
And nobody's going to pay a stay-at-home mom $250,000.
No, that's right.
If they are, goodbye.
Yeah.
That would be a lot easier than trying to hustle and be all the places all the time.
Mm-hmm. Suddenly, at $250,000, I am Fran Drescher, the nanny.
Sure. Same outfits.
Yep.
Exact same.
Same laugh.
Same laugh. Same look.
Yeah.
That's what people are watching me because of that. They know that I look a lot like Fran Drescher.
Do you believe the $300,000 number?
No.
I mean, isn't that so arbitrary? I pay for tuition for my kids to go to a parochial school because I want them to have religion conversations every morning. That's important to us. It's not important to everybody. That's why it's a choice. We pay for that. You could pay for private school, high school. You could pay for private college. You could also go all public. Like they include in that number the like housing. It's like not getting their own house.
Yeah, they gotta make something out of it, right? If you're gonna do the study, you gotta find the most crazy thing possible to get attention for it. If it was only $50,000, let's get it up to $250,000.
You know, and I think like the cool part of that whole thing is the guy in that audio clip that you played at the end. He said, you know, you're boiling it down to the end of your life. You either have like $300,000, but he goes, but you have kids, and that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I just all of these little things. You know, people are just trying to write articles.
Yeah,
People are just trying to turn out content as much as they possibly can, and we're sitting here talking about it. So they did their job, and I get it, but at the same time, we have worked so hard to devalue the things that should be the most important in life, and we should be okay talking about why they are important to us. And when I talk about what's important to me, that doesn't in any way, shape, or form have to dictate what's important to you. You know, if I talk about wanting to send my kids to a Lutheran school, maybe you're like, Lutheran, it should be Catholic. Well, then send your kids to a Catholic school. And if someone's like, why would I pay for private school tuition when I'm paying taxes for a public school? Then send your kid to a public school. We all high five, and then we grab a cocktail and move on with our lives and be proud of all of our children because they're sucking us dry and our wallets are empty. It's just bizarre.
I'm going to retire in a couple of years. I think I'd like to try art for a couple of years. No. Don't do that. Stay in your job because you would have made more.
Yeah.
That's what we're reducing it to.
100%. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. Go vote in that YouTube live chat poll.
Wake up, Lee Susie, wake
I'm
up.
Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494, or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Let's focus on a luxury dealership that's doing it right, which is very uncommon in this crazy market that we're in. You know, this market is like no other. Genesis of St. Charles is doing it right. And that could be the best kept secret in St. Charles area because right now, Their showroom's under construction. You may not even see the sign for Genesis, but they're within the St. Charles Hyundai showroom. I urge you to check them out. If you're looking for a luxury car and you've not heard of Genesis, check them out at genesisofstcharles.com. They have the most available inventory of Genesis vehicles. So that's the first thing. The second, their average manager's been there for 20 years, so you know you're going to get good treatment, and you will never, here's the most important thing, you will never pay more than MSRP. So if I haven't convinced you yet, go to genesisofstcharles.com. Again, they're located in the St. Charles Hyundai showroom. They are about a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall on the St. Charles Automotive Campus on Veterans Memorial Parkway. They make amazing things happen. genesisofstcharles.com.
Frederick Roofing, wherever you live, from Bridgeton to Baldwin, Brentwood to Kirkwood, St. Anne to St. Charles, wherever you live. Hazelwood to Maplewood, the name you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
St. Louis, 314-645-2000.
Frederick is the gold standard for roofing and perhaps priced a bit lower than other bonded and insured roofers. When you invest money into fixing a hole in your roof or putting on a whole new roof, you want the peace of mind that you'll get only with Frederick Roofing. Plus, you can always depend on an immaculate cleanup when the job has been completed by Frederick's own licensed and insured crews.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Before the raid, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. More insight about the run-up to the FBI's search of the Trump estate in Florida, as a newly disclosed letter reveals that representatives of the former president were told in May about classified material taken from the White House.
The head of the National Archives and Records Administration told attorneys for former President Trump on May 10th that the Biden administration did not believe a former president could assert executive privilege over material turned over to the archives. The archivist wrote in a letter to Trump's legal team that an assertion of executive privilege is not a close one, since the records belong to the federal government itself.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. Lawyers for Trump want a federal court to appoint a special master to review material taken in the raid this month, though the Justice Department says a filter team is already reviewing documents for potential attorney-client privilege. Some diehard Trump supporters on the ballot for primaries today in Florida, including some heated congressional races. Fox's Aisha Hasni in Clearwater.
Representative Matt Gaetz, he is a firebrand. He is embroiled right now in a sex trafficking scandal, and he is being primaried over in the 11th district. Far-right Laura Loomer, who calls herself the most banned woman on the internet over some pretty controversial comments about Muslims, is challenging longtime incumbent Dan Webster, whom she calls a rhino.
Meaning Republican in name only. Democrats are picking a challenger to face Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. New York also has multiple races in play, some pitting Democrats against more progressive candidates, and voters in Oklahoma are deciding runoffs. No charges against police officers in Atlanta over the killing of Rayshard Brooks in 2020. A specially appointed prosecutor just making the announcement. Investigators say Brooks was asleep in a Wendy's drive-thru and fired a taser at officers while resisting arrest on a DUI charge before he was shot and killed. America is listening to Fox News.
This is Joe Cordell. In other ads, I've talked about the weighty matters that are on the table in divorce: assets, debts, spousal support, and of course, children. But here I want to talk to you about a troublesome issue that arises early and often in the divorce process, but which attorneys, including myself, say too little about, and that's the cost of a divorce. Yet as important as this factor is, it shouldn't overwhelm the more deserving issues that are raised by divorce. But here are just a few things that Cordell Cordell is doing to help. We have now reduced our initial deposit or retainer. Also, there's no longer a charge for initial consultations for those who retain. And finally, we now provide on the front end a maximum fee pledge for certain modification and support matters. The bottom line is that to be a partner men can count on, we have to think about all their needs, and attorney fees are no exception.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. CordellCordell.com.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
How about plenty of sunshine on this Tuesday afternoon? Nice temperatures, nice humidity. 85 will do it for the high. Tonight, clear skies, a slow drop out of the 80s into the upper 70s this evening. 65 Wednesday, keeping it quiet, keeping it nice. All the moisture staying well south. Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny and 87. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Discussion happens here.
Washington, D.C., the city government exists inside of this liberal vacuum where there's no outside voices involved.
On everything happening in the United States now.
Joe Biden can continue to be the president of the United States because the alternative is Kamala Harris.
Where St. Louis comes to talk.
It's something that makes Trump look bad. We're automatically running with it. We're not going to try to verify it anywhere. That's how journalism works these days.
97.1 FM Talk.
Looking to build a home on the Illinois side of the river, I want to talk to you about C.A. Jones and how helpful they can be going through this entire process. They provide many options of buildable plans with modern features at an affordable cost. And if you go to cajonesinc.com, remember, cajonesinc.com, I'm just going to keep saying that until somebody comes and tells me, you got to stop saying that, Annie. This is the right thing to do, isn't it?
You keep going.
Cajonesinc.com?
You can do it as long as they're not going to get mad at you.
I mean, they were in here
Yeah, they said
playing
it was
X's and O's and they laughed.
Right.
And so cajonesinc.com is also cajonesinc.com. Just make sure you put the ink on it. I don't know what happens to that.
INC.
If you're looking to build a house that is energy efficient, if you're looking to build a house that you can add in all of your own personal touches to, C.A. Jones has these buildable plans ready for you to check out on their website. I look at them all the time and just think and dream about having a house built for C.A. Jones. For myself, if you want to visit them online, visit them at cajonesinc.com.
Hall of Fame weekend presented by Edward Jones is August 26th through the 28th when the Cardinals host the Braves. On Friday night, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home an exclusive STL hat that features the silhouettes of Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright, courtesy of Busey Bank. That's Friday, August 26th. The Cardinals, the Braves, and the Yadi Waino STL hat. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
Hall of Fame weekend presented by Edward Jones is August 26th through the 28th when the Cardinals host the Braves. Celebrate the newest inductees into the Cardinals Hall of Fame on Saturday when 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a t-shirt highlighting former Cardinals outfielder and now Hall of Famer Matt Holliday. Fans using the ballpark app will also receive an exclusive collectible NFT. That's Saturday, August 27th. For tickets or more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
Two things are true. Kids are heading back to school, and every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. You know what else is true? You can help. Right now, the Red Cross has an urgent to critical need for all blood types. Our sister station is holding the KMOX Blood Drive, Wednesday, August 31st. Make an appointment to give at one of 6 locations throughout the St. Louis region, from O'Fallon, Missouri to Belleville, Illinois. It's the KMOX Blood Drive, Wednesday, August 31st. Make your appointment today at redcrossblood.org.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Hi, George Weber. Check out my alter ego, Skip Weber, every Saturday night, 9 to 11. The Saturday Evening Rock Show, the greatest rock and roll show on a talk station in the world. Don't miss it.
If you use a smart speaker, you can listen to 97.1 easier than ever. Just tell it to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app for your phone and stream the station whenever, wherever.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you today. A reminder, you can take us with you on the Odyssey app. Anywhere you go, AUDACY, download it. Follow 97.1 FM Talk on the app and subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast. So today's YouTube live chat poll, where you can go vote, comment as well on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? I get 4 options. YouTube won't let me do any more than 4, so I had to come up with 4. Governor Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rand Paul, or someone else. And I encourage you to leave a comment if you think it's somebody else. So you said you have a strong feeling about this. You said that earlier in the show, and I said, hold on to that thought.
I do. So I think there are 2 people that, and neither one of them are on the list. Although among those 3, I would say DeSantis, simply because I think that they could be setting him up for a run in 2028, whether Trump loses or not. He would then be the automatic front runner. And I don't think he's going to run against Trump. So outside of those 3, though, the ones that are not on there that I think really, if I had to put money on it, I would put money on Nikki Haley or Carrie Lake. But Carrie Lake has to win in Arizona first. That's my strong thought right there, is it's the one of those 2.
What do you think, Brad?
All right, so I've got a dark horse candidate here. So mine is not on that list, but of that list, I think Kristi Noem would be the most likely.
Mm-hmm.
But my dark horse candidate would be Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I think she would be a very good, calm, level-headed source. She's part of the administration. They have a good relationship, and I think that she would be a great vice president.
It's not a bad thought. I don't know if she has aspirations for that.
Yeah, I mean, she's running for governor, so she could be trying to climb up.
Being the governor in charge of Arkansas, is that where she's?
Yep.
Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Being the governor in charge of Arkansas and then going to be Trump's VP is a whole different ball game. Those are very different things. It doesn't necessarily mean that it wouldn't be the case, but
being the governor of Arkansas automatically kind of makes you a bad president, though, doesn't it?
Why? Who was the governor of Arkansas?
Bill Clinton. He wasn't. Was he a bad president or a bad person?
I don't know. I don't love a lot of what he did, but
That'll be tomorrow's poll.
Yeah, there you go.
Was Bill Clinton a bad president or a bad person? And then everybody would be like, why isn't there an all of the above section? And I'm really sorry. This is commented. Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, Rand Paul. The thing that piqued my interest on making this a poll question today was the Rand Paul thing. Somebody suggested that. I don't remember where I even saw it. So credit to whomever you are. If I remember, I will give you the credit that is due. It makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. If you were looking to drastically affect the scope and size of government the way Donald Trump wants to do it, and combine that with the way Rand Paul would want to do it, I just think that could be a marriage made in heaven. Because Rand Paul, he, if you gave him the scissors to start cutting the tape,
oh my gosh,
he would be able to go on day one, and he would be able to, I think, methodically go through the process without, Rand Paul has that special ability to just not give any craps. Donald Trump, same. Rand Paul is not as emotionally invested in all of this as Donald Trump is, which is an interesting thing. That if the number one reason why I would want Donald Trump to be the president again is because I think that the bureaucracy is so out of control in our federal government, so out of control, so overextended, that I want it to be pulled back. And I don't know that you can campaign on cuts, because you got to get people to vote. And I think if you put Rand Paul, the guy who's always talking about and voting against his party in many cases because he's like, we don't have the money to spend on this, and reprioritizing. Like, I'm not like the Rand Paul for president guy. I was never, or girl. I am not a Ron Paul person. I don't call myself a libertarian. I'm happily Republican and conservative, but I kind of like where that plays. And if you had 4 years of that, whew.
I mean, pragmatically, I would love to see that. I just don't know if that's on his radar or not. Either one of them, Trump or Rand Paul. I think they like each other.
I was going to say, they also have historically butted heads and always stuck the landing.
Yeah.
At least in their relationship or figuring out how to make it work, which to me shows that they've had to work close together. There were multiple things. I can't remember what the issues were off the top of my head, but there were multiple things where Rand Paul was the one vote holding it up, and Trump and Rand had to get together and they had to talk it out, and they stayed on good terms. And to me, Rand Paul's his own guy. I don't think that you can have somebody come in and be Trump's vice president that's really like Trump Jr. And I don't mean like literally Donald Trump Jr., Don Jr. I think that you have to have some stability.
The thing about Rand Paul and Ron Paul, to an extent, actually maybe even more so than Rand, is that they don't seem to be party first kind of guys. And I think we're all past that. We all always have wanted to be that, but America now is look, I'm fine with your label, but your label isn't why I'm voting for you. I want somebody who's talking about issues that I'm not even thinking about. Trump did that in 2016. Rand Paul has always done that, especially with financial issues, the Federal Reserve and things like
reports.
That. Yeah, that he talks about that nobody is talking about. I want to see a candidate like that, and he does fit that.
If you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, you will see that we are live right now. You click on that live either on your phone. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your TV. You can watch it on your desktop or laptop. And in the live chat section, you'll see the poll. Who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, Rand Paul, someone else. I don't think there's any way that Ron DeSantis is the guy.
I can't see it either.
To me, the person who does this would need to further their career by becoming the VP. And if Trump steps aside and chooses to bless someone, I can't imagine it's anybody other than Ron DeSantis, because Ron DeSantis has his own independent support in this country based on his resume and his actions, that if Donald Trump were to bless him in that endeavor, he could take whatever kind of credit he's going to take, and I don't think it would bother Ron DeSantis at all. But Ron DeSantis still gets to go there and be his own man. If he puts himself under Donald Trump, he doesn't position himself any better to access the presidency, which I think if he decided not to run this time because Trump was running, he could go the next time.
It's a rare thing to be called upon to be the vice president, though. I just wonder if that's something you turn down. I'm not saying nobody's ever done it. Just saying if you get the call.
I don't think we have any idea how many people have turned down the vice presidency.
I would suspect a lot of people turn it down.
I would think so too.
I forget who said it. It's a historical person, but it said being a vice president.
Maybe like Stephen Moore said, it's Benjamin Franklin, maybe.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Benjamin Franklin, but he said it's about as useful as a warm bucket of spit.
Ew.
There's just not, like, when you're the vice president, your job is basically what the president asks you to do. And that's it. There's no defined anything to it.
Unless you're Kamala Harris.
And a lot of them, yeah. Well, yeah, she gets asked to do things. She's like, it's not fair that they're asking me to do this. But this
job is hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Stop at the border and talk to the countries as well. If you go to the border and talk to the people that are dealing with the issue. But anyway, but you don't really have a job, and it's a step down for somebody who's been running the show.
I mean, you guys make a great case. I just think that there's still a possibility that it would happen.
Why would he do it?
I think it makes him de facto, because who knows what the next 4 to 6 years could hold for Ron DeSantis. No idea. Maybe he stays right where he's at. 2 more years of
Florida.
Maybe it's right where he's at. But
2 more years of Florida.
Well, 2 more years of Florida.
2 years of campaigning.
4 years. Yeah. So I just don't. You'd be making sure that you'd be next in line. I think that would be the reason.
I actually think it does the opposite.
Yeah. Do you think that Kamala Harris is the heir apparent?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't think she is. I think that all it is
If
a
she
chance
were,
to
we
lose
would
without
know.
advancing.
Like when people are talking all the time about how disastrous the Biden administration is, nobody ever says it's Kamala's turn. Nobody ever says that. You're laughing at the sentence because it is absurd.
Yeah,
to think like it's time Joe Biden step aside and let Kamala Harris take the job. Literally. I've never heard that sentence until I
laughing
said it right now.
because she has cashed that in. The position was hers to lose, and she's lost it. That's how bad she's done. But to me, the point is still the position. It was hers, could still be hers, and yet she's throwing it away.
Don't you expect that if Donald Trump wins the next presidency, it is going to be hellfire for 4 years in this country?
Yes.
Why would Ron DeSantis want to be in the middle of that?
To line him up to be the next to be the heir apparent, he probably wants to stay away from that because he doesn't want to get any GSR on him.
That's gunshot residue for the folks at home.
That's for me too. I would not have known that.
Here.
Thank you.
Well, you know, when us boys go out shooting.
I know. I got to stay home.
Someone's got to take care of the kitchen.
Somebody's got to cook the kitchen. Cook the kitchen?
What?
I don't know. That's what we do, isn't it?
It's not. You order takeout, please. I think that Trump is, if he were to run, especially if it's against Biden, oh my gosh. If he were to run and win, there will be no going along to get along anywhere at all. If we think that we're divided right now, this country will be at the fever pitch for those 4 years.
Who do you think? Rand Paul?
I mean, that's the one that I think would be a good choice. But my question specifically is who's most likely?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess most likely I do think Kristi Noem.
Yeah. People speak very highly of her.
I think that he will choose. I don't think he's going to choose a white dude. I hate that. I hate that it's like about that. Because I don't care if it's a white dude. That doesn't bother me. But I mean, all of these things are political. It matters where the state that the person is from. It matters the region of the country. It matters what they've done before. It matters what they haven't done before. It matters what your family looks like and what your family has done. There's so many factors who go in. And you know what? All of that, lump it all together and throw it out the window because none of that has to do with what you're going to do for the American people. How you look, what your family looks like, if you had kids, if you don't have kids, the color of your skin, how tall you aren't. All of these different things shouldn't matter at all if you can go there and do the job for the American people. And we have a political landscape right now where the only thing that matters is that stuff. That's it.
Some of that stuff, though, I think is why Kristi Noem wouldn't get it. Because I don't think South Dakota / regional, mid-plains states. I don't think
Sarah
that adds
Palin
anything.
without the Sarah Palin, though.
Yeah, I get that. I get she does, she's not a white dude, so I get that. But
what if it was Sarah Palin?
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
I just said that out loud and I was like,
No way.
Why not?
She's a loser and Trump hates losers.
Yeah, but he's probably blamed that on John McCain.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I haven't looked at the. I have not. I bet Sarah Palin annoys the hell out of Donald Trump. Just like her presence in my mind. And I'm actually much more of a Sarah Palin fan than most people seem to be. I still like her and I still admire her. More comments, folks. Keep them coming on the live chat because I feel like this should be an easy question to answer, and I don't think it's easy at all.
No, it's not.
Like, who would be willing to go head first into that? You let us know on the YouTube live chat. Vote in the poll. Leave a comment. We'll be back with more in a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. 97.1 is St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective. It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
The Closet Factory online at closetfactory.com. These are such great people. And your storage space situation, the little situation you have in your house where things are just piled in the closet that you wouldn't want people to open up and see what it looks like inside. Why? Probably because your closet doesn't have any organization to it. You buy a house, the closet has a single shelf across the top and one place to hang things, but so much extra space that you're not utilizing. The Closet Factory comes in and looks at your space and says, oh, this is your front hall closet. Do you want a place for gloves, hats, shoes, boots, umbrellas, whatever it is? And they can customize that closet specific to your needs. Expand that to the master closet upstairs in your bedroom. When you are looking at a closet that is customized from the Closet Factory, you are seeing something incredibly personal that is going to be a bright spot in every day when you walk in there. For all the storage space in your house that you need help with, get a customized solution from the Closet Factory. 314-961-4300, online at closetfactory.com.
Synanon was the world's first drug rehab. People called it the miracle on the beach. But soon, people were calling it something else. They were saying it was a violent cult. Listen to The Sunshine Place, a creation and presentation of C13 Originals, a Cadence 13 studio. Executive produced with Susan Downey and Robert Downey Jr. Available for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Why are some people afraid to enjoy their retirement? And why are some people so worried about spending money during their golden years? Maybe it's because they're afraid of running out of money. Maybe they're afraid of depleting their nest egg, either through spending too much or through investment strategies that could result in losses. Hi, my name is Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. Do you have a fear of depleting your savings and running out of money too soon? Let me help put your mind at ease. I can help you create an optimal retirement income distribution strategy that helps to maximize income from your retirement savings and eliminate your fear of running out of money. Call 314-328-6000 today and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh, yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
ChevroletClean.com.
She's been living in her uptown world. I bet she never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mother never told her why. I'm gonna try for her uptown girl. She's been living in her white bread world.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. You just started dancing, Ryan. I don't want to make the music go away.
Well, that's Brad. Brad, leave it.
Fantastic radio. I know what you guys have been wondering and thinking and missing information on, and that's why you tune into the Annie Frey Show. You remember Sanjaya Malakar? Sanjaya?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I remember Sanjaya Malakar.
Do you?
Nope.
Is that the Twitter guy?
Nope.
The CEO? Dang.
Oh, now I do.
Do you?
No.
Oh. Remember Sanjaya from season 6 of American Idol?
No, I never watched
That's
that.
why I don't know who that is.
You have no idea?
William Hung is the only one I remember.
Sanjaya, and stick with me here. I'm going to bring this home.
Okay.
32-year-old Seattle native performer auditioned for American Idol in 2006 alongside his sister Shia Molly, who was eliminated during Hollywood Week, while Malakar advanced to the season's top 40 contestants. Despite fans voting him into the top 10, then 17-year-old Malakar's vocal performances were notably criticized as, quote, utterly horrendous by Simon Cowell. So I think I watched this season. There was a while there where I watched American Idol. I didn't start with it. I definitely didn't finish with it. Harry Connick Jr. was a great draw for this girl here. But I remember Sanjaya, and Sanjaya was it was like a meme before memes, really.
Okay.
He was just not that great, but sometimes you could be really good at something and it just does not translate over the air, in a recording, on stage, or maybe these are normal everyday folks who get put onto the stage and it's just a lot, right?
They can't handle it.
Or they certainly don't have that thing where they just walk onto the stage and they're like, here
Come
I
alive.
am. Yeah. Between his vocal abilities, the harsh critiques, and unique ponytail mohawk hybrids hairstyle he sported on the show, Malakar became the subject of jokes from many viewers and comedians at the time. Additionally, the contestants' sexuality became a topic of debate amongst viewers, many of whom assumed Malakar was gay and hiding his identity. This is where this gets interesting, and this is a Yahoo Entertainment story. He recently set the record straight. He says he's bisexual, said the former musician who now works as a pastry chef and bartender. At the time that I was on American Idol, I did not know, which is why it was so weird for me. Again, he was 17 when he was on the show. He explained that growing up, these are his words, he was, quote, raised by women and participated in theater. Quote, I had a hard time figuring out how to interact with young boys because my dad's from India and grew up in a temple. So there never was like, quote, this is how you are a boy. He's talking to a DNR Studios podcast. Quote, and then my mom is an A-type personality, Italian-American woman, and so are her sisters and my sisters and all that. So growing up, I was already the awkward theater kid. This is where it gets interesting. Quote, I always got along with theater kids. I always got along with gay kids and girls. So I was like, okay, these are my people. But I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me that I'm gay. And I'm like 7.
Wow.
I don't even have an attraction to anyone. So why are you telling me this? Yes, Sanjaya. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like in a Yahoo Entertainment article that I was reading because I am too awake to fall asleep. Like, why am I reading an article about Sanjaya? I was filling time. Because he says something here that if you lifted that paragraph off the page of a Yahoo Entertainment 8 paragraphs down story about the fact that we can be proud that Sanjaya has officially come out as bisexual, that he says in this story here, I always got along with theater kids. I always got along with gay kids and girls. So I was like, okay, these are my people. But I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me that I'm gay and I'm like 7. I don't even have an attraction to anyone. So why are you telling me this? This is the Parental Rights in Education bill. And Sanjaya is the one who's telling America what Ron DeSantis was saying. Unbelievable to me how it is. That is exactly, I just hit my microphone away from my mouth. That is exactly the entire point that Ron DeSantis was making in Florida. And here's Sanjaya, and no one's going to talk about it. No one's going to bring it out into the open and discuss it. Sanjaya, when he said that, he didn't mean what I'm saying he meant, because he was just talking about what is real, what is. It wasn't a political statement. He wasn't supporting Ron DeSantis in that. He might be a Democrat. I don't know. I also sequentially do not care. But yeah, everyone keeps telling me that I'm gay, and I'm like 7. I don't even have an attraction to anyone, so why are you telling me this? Bingo.
Thank you. Let me take a wild guess. Say that was not the headline of that story.
The literal headline of the story is Sanjaya Malakar of American Idol fame comes out as bisexual, says he wasn't aware during season 6.
Amazing. Yeah, that's not just. Here's the thing, though. Here's why Ron DeSantis, and you guys were arguing in the last segment why he should stick where he's at, and not necessarily because his profile is already there. And I hear that. Ron DeSantis is doing something that's not supposed to be political, that probably 75% of the country completely agrees with. At least. It shouldn't even be a political issue. Yet it's been forced into a political issue, so he's had to grab it and push back. And he is wise for doing so politically, but he's also smart for doing so because it's what people want. Like Sanjaya, who's clearly not trying to make a political statement, but he somehow has fallen in line with the governor of Florida.
Sanjaya, who knew?
It's amazing. But
what a simple sentence. What a simple statement. Something that everybody should agree on. And it doesn't matter what their eventual sexuality is to me. I have never once, since I think I didn't like him as a singer, I never voted for people. But like once he was off the show, I was not thinking about Sanjaya in my life at all. Here he is. He has something to say. Yahoo values it because he's coming out as bisexual. But in the exact same article, how long would it take me to go onto Yahoo and find a story by Yahoo News somewhere trashing Ron DeSantis and the fact that he hates gay people?
Oh, that's probably one of the top stories.
It's the same thing, folks. Ron DeSantis in Florida wanted that type of stuff not to be like, think about that for a second. What Sanjaya is saying, I was 7 years old when people were like saying this, that, and the other thing, and I was around kids. I had no sexual attraction because you're 7. You're not supposed to have sexual attraction at 7. That is science. That is biology. That's how humans are made, created, if you will. That is the whole freaking point of what is going on in Florida. Ron DeSantis is saying these conversations don't belong with these young kids. And they sure as hell don't belong with these young kids outside of the context of their parents. That's it. There's no don't say gay bill. There's no don't say gay. There's no problem with saying gay. Parents, like the idea that a child could be dropped off by their 2 moms or their 2 dads. There's no hush hush around that. It has nothing to do with that. And when Sanjaya Malakar comes out and says this in the 8th paragraph or whatever of a Yahoo Entertainment story, I mean, I kind of want to like put it on blast and make that point to the whole world, but I kind of feel bad for Sanjaya if I were to drag him into this thing that he wasn't saying. Like now he's going to be the spokesperson of this. Then he's going to kind of have to come out and like, not like I could command him to like do all of these things. But if people were to understand this point that I'm making and make it a more national story, is Sanjaya going to have to clarify his comments and apologize to anyone who was offended that he said that he wasn't a sexual being at 7? Probably.
I'm sure he doesn't want to be involved in that conversation, but that's kind of the point of him saying it. And that's the point of most people nationally going, I don't even want to be having this conversation. Why does it take some random governor from some state that I don't live in to stand up for something that everybody should agree with, yet is being pushed in my kid's classroom?
Yeah, why is this topic being pushed? Why is it being pushed? Why do we have to have the conversation? What is it that you, small minority of people, want to push? Why do you want to push this on the kids? Why do you want to ask them that? Why do you want to bring this up? Because you know who's not thinking about it? The kids. And because the kids aren't thinking about it, mom and dad weren't thinking about it. Nobody was thinking about it until this particular group of people said, hey, we need to be able to talk to these kids about this.
It just goes to show you too, like what he says, people were talking about, he was around people, he was exposed to different people. The fact that he was around theater kids when he was 7 and maybe was exposed to people who were gay, like none of that mattered. He probably just thought some of them were nice people, some of them were less than nice people, and he liked to hang around the nice people. And it probably didn't matter who they were attracted to when he was 7. So once again, what matters is being a good, nice person. That's pretty much what it boils down to when you're around children. And then parents, being in charge and leading on education is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And it's really, really strange how bold of a statement that is.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of a different point, but he does say this too. And I don't think he's trying to make a point by saying this either. But he says, nobody really, I don't know what exactly his words were, but it was something like, nobody really taught me how to be a boy. That is cultural stuff right now that he's wading into. I don't think attempting to. He's just talking about how he grew up. Nobody taught me how to be a boy. So everybody assumed that I was a certain sexuality before I even knew what a sexuality was.
Also, we have this. It's frustrating to me. I've said this on the air before, but it's frustrating to me that if I am to go define things that are feminine, like what it means to me to be a woman, that I could potentially get some blowback because I don't have the right to define what that means. And somebody else could, as a born male who identifies as a female, like I don't need to weigh in on your decisions of how you live your life. You know, whatever, do you, because you're not going to weigh in on mine and make me not be who I am. So, okay, fine. This is America. Thank God. But it's always strange to me that can be used as a way to define what a woman is. And we are so strict on what we can't call a woman because of what we have to call a woman. And it's not a finite description. All of these are words, and they're all used to marginalize people and ideologies that don't fit the progressive left. Not that is the majority, but that has the loudest microphones and the most cameras and the biggest celebrity. That's the crap part of it.
I don't think the left, the progressive left on these issues really even knows what they're doing. Because they're like you've said before, and we've done segments on it before, that they don't, the rules don't seem to have any sort of application outside of the moment that you're saying them.
As soon as the rules that have been set don't work for them, they just change them.
Yeah.
Like literal definitions of words.
And change hard. And suddenly you're no longer acceptable in society. That's how hard they change.
And that's how they have power.
It is.
It's ridiculous. Before we get to a break, I want to put out 2 shout outs. And there's more where that came from. And I'm going to encourage everyone to go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page to see this post I put up this weekend. I coached this 5th grade volleyball team, and we were short on uniforms. We didn't have enough uniforms. And so I went on a mission so that all the kids could have a uniform for the game. I just did this. This is Donald Trump. That was weird.
Did you do okay?
No.
Oh, you just
I did the hands winged out to the side and then in and out.
Yeah. It's hard to explain, but
yes,
I can see
it. We didn't have enough uniforms, and we were passing them out, and we were trying to make it work. And, I thought to myself, what if I could just get some new uniforms? The ones that we had were 15 years old, and I'm sure that we have lost some over the course of time. Look, it's a parochial school, so it's not like a public school flush with taxpayer dollars. It's a parochial school, and, they put together a good program, but these uniforms hadn't been out for a while. Plus, with COVID, everything's kind of been on hiatus for a while. So you might not have everything you thought you had or whatever. So our girls needed some good uniforms, new uniforms. And so my husband went to Kohl's and bought yellow t-shirts. They're like dry tech t-shirts. Got a good deal on them. And I put up on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page just kind of like an eagle call to say, if anybody would be so kind as to help me get these printed by Monday game last night, I would be so grateful. And a host of people reached out to me, and I felt bad at the end because I want to use all of them. It was so great to have that much support from people. The first people I was talking to is the Print Place STL. I think it's printplacestl.com. And I was going to go with them, but they're in Chesterfield and I'm in Illinois. And then Minuteman Press in Edwardsville also messaged me a little bit after that and said they both were going to work with me. I'm going to try to work with both of them in the future for some like Annie Frey Show stickers or some stuff like that. But thank you so much to Edwardsville Minuteman Press for getting these jerseys done. I am so grateful for it. They gave me a great price on it as well. And they turned it around so fast. And they're located on the SIU campus. I didn't realize that they were there. I thought they were over by like Bella Milano, but they do everything promotional. any type of printing needs that you would like to use. And they have several Minuteman presses around the area. So if you can support them, if you're in Chesterfield, there's the print place STL out there as well. They were so kind and so eager and so helpful. And I just was really, really grateful because I had a need and people showed up in a big way. And that's really what you guys are all about. And if I can shout out your small businesses in that way, even if I didn't use them, I'm just really grateful for the chance to do it. I'll put up the uniforms. I'll put my daughter in her volleyball uniform on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page here on the break. So stick around. We're going to wrap up the YouTube live chat poll. Who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? Governor Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rand Paul, or someone else? Leave us a comment on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Those results with Hannah in studio in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Jesse Jane Duff. Here we are. The American people are not buying it. They're tired of it. And we know we have to make a dramatic shift and we have to make a change. And we got to do it again. We got to get President Trump back into that White House.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. If you pull up their website, easy to find at igotfloored.com. igotfloored.com. You're going to be able to see their locations and access all that information for your shopping. Maybe this weekend, flooring purchase in your future for residential, for commercial as well. They can help you with both. But they also have their splash in the summer with our best waterproof flooring opportunity on the front. You can see all different kinds of waterproofing solutions for your space that are going to give you a beautiful finish, but also that durability that you need. The same thing goes with the Mohawk Smart Strand carpet. When you are looking for durability, quality, hypoallergenic, or all pet solutions, you can reach out to Michael's Flooring Outlet and get connected with the perfect carpet for your home that's going to stand the test of all of those paws and little feet that are going to be on it that you love so much. Reach out to Michael's Flooring Outlet. Tell them that you heard about them on the Annie Frey Show here on 97.1 FM Talk, and get your process started today. Great customer service, the best quality, and the greatest value. igotfloored.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blue.
NMLS 114937.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrentonVision.com.
Almost everyone wishes they could play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. But few ever learn, and here's just a few of the reasons why. I can't read music. It will take too long, it's too expensive, it's too hard, or I've tried before and I failed. And this would be true with most piano lessons, but not with Lacefield Music's groundbreaking and innovative adult piano classes. With Lacefield Music's classes, you will learn how to read music, play with both your right and left hand the first week, and be able to play your favorite songs in only 8 weeks. Lacefield Music's adult piano course is usually $100. But twice a year, we open this course up to the public for the low price of only $29.99. That's only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. What have you got to lose? Classes are forming now in our South County and Chesterfield locations. Call either location or go to lacefieldmusic.com to sign up. That's LACEFIELD music.com.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gellman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out the GellmanTeam.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for summer with a cooling system check, included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. To get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Welcome into the Annie Frey Show. This is the song that Ryan plays in the mirror every morning before he does the show.
Mm-hmm. While I'm running my brush through my thick hair. just loving life. Just thinking
Don't
about
make hair jokes about yourself.
Why not?
Because we can't make them back to you.
I know. I got to get ahead of you. If I do it, you
gotta,
can't
you
do
gotta
it.
do what?
I got to get ahead
Or
of
ahead
you.
of you?
See?
Ooh.
I thought I had done it, and yet you still do it.
Ouch. I don't want to make hair jokes about you.
You just said you do.
Well, because you asked for it.
I don't want to make hair jokes about you.
But-
Doesn't mean I won't.
Yeah, exactly. But to answer your question, yes, I sing that song every morning when I step out of the shower. Got to wipe off the mirror and make sure I can see myself.
Do you sing into the hairbrush?
Yeah.
Why do you have a hairbrush?
I just made that joke. I just made that exact joke. You can't take it. I just did it.
He wanted to bring it home.
Well, I guess good job.
Do you sing in the shower?
No.
Really?
I used to before kids. Now if I do,
Now I just
now
cry.
it attracts them.
I was gonna say, now if I do, I get a chorus.
I know
Right?
what you mean.
Right?
I actually go in the shower to hide.
Yes.
No extra noises that are going to bring little people in to sit there cross-legged in front of you and just watch.
I tell you what, if I'm singing in the shower or really almost anywhere, I am having a good day. Because I don't just walk around singing like some people do.
But you dance.
You know shower beers?
No.
You ever heard of a
How's
shower
this?
beer?
No.
Shower White Claw?
That's where I was going.
Oh, you're talking about actually just drinking in the shower. I thought maybe this was like a thing, like
shower beer?
Yeah.
It is.
It is a thing.
But you're just drinking a beer in the shower.
That's what I assume is
What
happening.
else would it be?
I don't know. I thought maybe it was like a euphemism for something. I don't know.
No, just a shower
Okay, just
beer.
drinking like that's just normal. Like I'm like, oh, of course I've heard of shower. Just drinking a beer in
Is
the
anybody
shower.
outside of the studio right now familiar with the shower beer? Are there still people out there?
Yeah, they all left.
They all left. Sue Thomas is on the other side of the window. I wonder if she's familiar with the
prepping.
shower beer. I thought that was a big thing.
Have you ever had
know
a shower
about it.
beer?
I don't drink beer, but I've had a shower drink.
Have you really?
It was
Does
wonderful.
it make a difference?
Yes. Have you ever had a drink in a hot tub?
Drinking in a hot tub seems very different than drinking in a shower.
Depends on the day. If you're like outside working in the yard or cutting the grass on a super hot day, I mean, you're not a big beer drinker.
No.
You've said that you like alcoholic drinks. The more they
The
taste
closer
less
they
like
taste to soda.
less like alcohol, the better.
Yes.
But okay, think about this. What's your favorite refreshing drink?
Horchata.
Oh. You ever had a shower horchata? It's hard to even say.
Oh, weird.
There might be a market for that.
Chai tea, extra pumps, no ice. So have I ever had a drink with extra pumps?
No, you're right. You were totally
Okay.
you were totally drinking that in the bathtub with bubbles.
Shower beer.
You ever had a bath horchata?
Man, I'm telling you what though.
Doesn't it sound lovely?
Now that you've said it,
Uh-huh.
I want to bathe in it.
Well, men have beers in the shower. You have horchata in the bath.
No. Somebody comment. This is not a normal thing.
Shower beer?
This isn't something I've just missed out
Shower
on.
beer.
It is a thing.
Shower beer.
Ryan,
Come
I don't
on.
even drink, and I've heard of shower beer.
Come on. Have you ever had one?
Amy
No,
says,
I don't drink.
Amy says shower drink. Patrick says definitely like shower beers. Amy says, heck yeah, nothing wrong with a shower beer. G-Wib says shower gummies.
I've done that.
Gross. Oh,
yeah,
man.
shower gummies, shower Skittles. No,
Shower wine.
Not shower. The line for me is shower. I don't
You don't
do
even
anything
turn
with a
turn the
shower.
water on before you get in the bathtub.
Doesn't matter. Bath is the place to do the eating and the drinking.
So it can hang around in case you drop any. It just floats right back.
She groans, yet she's the one that brought up shower beer.
That's a normal thing.
Okay, what?
I don't know that I would say it's a normal thing, but it is definitely a
normal
thing.
Shower wine. Chris says, damn, I need to try a shower beer. Yeah, that's going to happen.
I could see maybe in that rare situation where you come in from cutting the grass at 4 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yes. It's a perfect time
But a
for it.
shower, I get up in the morning, I take a shower.
Listen, I think there are two, and this is not, I've never done this, but I am applying logic. I think that one is if a beer is the most refreshing thing that you can think of, like after a really hot day of cutting the grass, and you want an ice cold beer in the shower to clean off, you want that beer right there to relax. Yes. But I think possibly somebody can comment on this as well, that maybe the morning after the shower beer is the hangover, because won't people have a drink in the morning if they have a hangover? Doesn't that?
You're the one who knows about shower beers.
Never been hungover.
No.
I don't know when people are doing this.
You
and
either,
when they're
right,
not.
Hannah?
I've never had a drop of alcohol.
Kevin says shower beer is awesome after a hard day's work. Brian says you can even use the beer to shampoo your hair, Wiggins.
Wait, just me, or can anybody do that? Is he making a bald joke?
To you?
Or no, Brian, I'm not inviting somebody to come over and shampoo my hair.
Poll.
Yeah,
We gotta
you
do
do.
the
Yes,
poll.
we
It's
do.
off
We
the
have to.
rails. YouTube live chat poll. Go, Hannah.
Who would most likely be Donald Trump's running mate? Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, Rand Paul,
Paul,
or
Rhonda Paul.
someone else. 31% said Kristi Noem, 30% said someone else, 30% also said Ron DeSantis, 9% said Rand Paul.
Hit us with some suggestions.
Steve from YouTube says Kristi because she's smart and articulate. She has great presence when speaking. Besides, I doubt that DeSantis would accept. Daniel Scott says Carrie Lake.
Yep, she's on my radar.
Denise says Jim Jordan.
Unlike shower beers.
Pie Hat Matt says Bubba from prison will be his running mate.
Hi, Pie Hat Matt. You are the winner of today.
Yay! You won because of your name being funny.
No, because
Pie Hat Matt.
he's the one who I said, who's going to come on here and troll and be like, you mean soulmate?
Then he did it.
Bubba Hat?
And he did it.
Or not Bubba.
Pie Hat Matt.
Bubba Hat.
Pie Hat Matt, thanks for being here. We are glad that you were with
Thanks,
us.
Pie Hat Matt.
Larry Strick from YouTube says Josh Hawley.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Williams from YouTube says Candace Owens for VP. Mitch Hayes from YouTube says Kanye West all day.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, Kanye West.
Kathy from YouTube says I would hope it would be Sarah Palin. Woo. Billy from Facebook said tires for Trump's running. Oh, ow! Tires for Trump.
Whenever she said, this is
Time
something
for the show
inside
to
baseball.
end.
Whenever she says tires, she does a punch,
Yeah.
and that
I
time the
just
mic
got
got in the
punched
way.
in the face when I said tires. Tires for Trump's running mate, double T MAGA.
Oh, man.
Woo!
Oh, that's a lot of suggestions. That's interesting. Still nobody who seems like the obvious choice.
No, there's
So
not an obvious.
I guess there's a lot of time between now and then, of course. Thank you for being with us today. Definitely a podcast to check out for the books on the Odyssey app. AUDACY. Download it. Follow 97.1 FM Talk and subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast. And stay right here because the Mark Reardon Show is coming up next.
I'm all gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me?